Iran continues getting brutalized and humiliated by the Donald as they keep begging for a deal, giving a bad deal, and Trump saying, okay, get back to me in 2 days while they continue to get strangled by the blockade. It's pretty incredible stuff. They've actually been hurt with... Iran's been hit with a couple of earthquakes yesterday, all right? So God is now in the chat. He is involved in the warfare. Trump basically told Iran to hang on a second, continue, getting cooked by the blockade. I'm going to China. Trump is right now in China doing this epic meeting with Xi Jinping, who is completely and utterly humiliated because, well, let's be honest, he's been getting all of his oil from Iran, and they can't really do that right now. We got Trump administration, like Rubio and more, beefing with the United Nations, saying, yeah, you guys have been pushing replacement migration, and we're done with that. We got Trump releasing a new memo on going after dangerous individuals within our own country. Hassan Piker is terrified, and he also got absolutely brutally humiliated on the timeline by other leftists. The leftist-eating leftist drama is here again. I am so excited. Lock in, boys and girls. We have lots to talk about today, and I was in the Jew tunnels researching all this stuff. It's pretty diabolical. Definitely subscribe. The Donald posted on the timeline, lasers, bing, bing, gone. Truly one of the greatest posts I think I've ever seen in my life. And this is obviously in reference to how the lasers are making Iran's military gone. Now, the House Democrats said, no, Trump's war with Iran is illegal. Which, of course, this is what it would look like if we had X in 1944. No, the war with Germany is illegal. That's right. Don't you dare go after terrorists that are diddling children and having their way with goats and other livestock. Do not go after those guys. It's illegal to do objectively good things for the people of Iran. Now, if you want to argue it's not America first, well, we could have a discussion about how I personally don't want their terrorist death cult in the Middle East to have nuclear weapons that they're developing and currently trying to kill us with. I'm actually not super excited about that. Maybe Democrats want that to happen. It would not surprise me, being that they push all other forms of genocidal anti-American dogma. This isn't exactly something that would shock me, but hey, maybe that was their stance all along. Now, breaking news, Tehran warns 90% enriched uranium if they are attacked again by the US or Israel. Now, this is really funny because it makes believe Iran actually has literally any power to warn literally anyone of anything. I don't think people are ready for what's gonna happen. I think a lot of people think that this blockade is just gonna end nicely and peacefully with Iran submitting, but they're a death cult. All right, we're not dealing with a regular, normal type of guy who's like, well, I lost a war. Oh well, I'll take the L and live another day. We are literally up against terrorist, suicidal pedophiles that are more than happy to blow themselves up if it means that they can take us with them. All right, we're up against a ridiculous clergy death cult that believes in a suicidal, apocalyptic endgame obliterating the world. All right, people don't recognize exactly the evil we're dealing with, and because a lot of people think that everyone else thinks just like them. Oh, what do you mean? I don't want to blow myself up, so they probably don't want to blow themselves up either. Well, that's been provable false. Anywho, Donald Trump tweeted, when the fake news says the Iranian enemy is doing well militarily against us, it's virtual treason. In that it is such a false and even preposterous statement. They are aiding and abetting the enemy, true. All it does is give Iran false hope when none should exist. God damn, he's just killing him every day. These are American cowards that are rooting against our country, true. Iran has 159 ships in their navy. Every single ship is now resting at the bottom of the sea. They are under the sea. They have no navy. Their air force is gone. Their leader is gay. All technology is gone. Their leaders are no longer with us, and their country is an economic disaster. Only losers, ingrates, fools, retards, and flaggots are able to make a case against America. President Donald J. Trump. Bro is cooking there, I'm not gonna lie. And also true. Never forget, every single dipshit that's actually rooting for Iran is an anti-American traitor as far as I'm concerned. It's so obvious, actually. Look, if you are against the war altogether or whatever, look, that's one thing, and you have every right to your political opinion and stuff. The United States is freedom of speech. Thank God. Best country on the planet. You could disagree with the government without going into getting obliterated or raped by Cuban communist retards in some black cell somewhere, all right? Thank God you have the ability to bitch. The ability to bitch is granted to you by the Constitution, but if you're rooting for the enemy, then you're a treasonous dipshit, anti-American fuckface, and you're gonna die. Politically and morally speaking, I mean. Obviously, I'm not calling for any forms of violence, but I very much would love if some of these fucking retards actually faced consequences for their bullshit, which does exist. Now, Elon Musk says, on my way to Beijing in Air Force One. The boys are back together. Elon on his way to China with Trump. All right, Trump needs to go to China to currently mog all of the Chinese people that currently have no oil. All right, these guys, they've desperately wanted to capture Taiwan for a very long time. That's not going to happen because they have no oil because we're taking Iran. Do you understand how this works? CNBC incorrectly reported that the great Jensen Huang of NVIDIA was not invited to the incredible gathering of the world's greatest businessmen and women proudly going to China. In actuality, Jensen is currently on Air Force One, unless I ask him to leave, which is highly unlikely. CNBC's reporting is incorrect, or as they say in politics, fake news. It is an honor to have Jensen, Elon, Tim Apple. That's not his name. Tim Apple, Larry Fink, Steven Schwartzman, Kelly Ottberg, Boeing, Brian Sykes, Cargill, Jane Fraser, Citi, Larry Gulp, CE Culp, Aerospace, David Solomon, Goldman Sachs, Sanjay Mithrothad, Cristiano Amon, and many other journeying to the great country of China, where I will be asking President Fat Jinping, a leader of an extraordinary distinction, to open up China so that these brilliant people can work their magic and help bring their People's Republic to an even higher level. In fact, they promise that when we are together, which will be in a matter of hours, I will make the very first request. I've never seen or heard any idea that would be more beneficial to our incredible country's President Donald J. Trump. Now, to understand how genius of a fucking negotiator this guy is, all right, understand that currently China is at its weakest point that it's been in easily the last decade. They're not getting oil from Venezuela. That shit's falling apart. They're not getting oil from Iran. That shit's falling apart. They're not getting shit from Cuba. That's going to get toppled really soon. All right, just to understand the Donald Trump global policy, he made sure that every single one of China's big allies that gives them all sorts of shit to let them keep growing is completely and utterly cooked and cucked by the United States of America. China has never needed us more than they do right now, and they've never had less leverage than they do right now. It's part of a gigantic geopolitical chess game that, in my opinion, every single political commentator is either fucking retarded or lying to you because they're trying to sell you fake news. This was absolutely genius, and only dipshits will tell you that Trump doesn't know what he's doing. All right, this is the squad of gamers that Donald Trump has assembled to show up in China. Now, Rubio did a little bit of trolling, let's just say. Secretary Rubio rocking the Nike Tech Venezuela on Air Force One. All right, so this is what he was wearing going to China. This is what we call mogging. All right, this is what we call mogging the shit out of China. Now, the reason why this is very funny is, well, actually, because this is exactly what Maduro wore when he was captured by the United States of America in January. All right, Rubio is wearing the Maduro fit on his way to China. Bro is mogging the shit out of the competition in every feasible way. Bro, Vance ain't making it out of the primaries. Now, the reason why this is so funny is because this is a fuck you to China, because China was getting its oil from Venezuela. Venezuela was a Chinese communist outpost in the Western Hemisphere that was pumping its oil to them, all right, where China would let Venezuela exist as this little entity that would flood us with drugs and shit, and send them oil. Well, Venezuela's our bitch right now. I don't know if you got the news. I don't know if you heard the update. Donald Trump, let's just say he's been tweeting quite the storm lately. The libtards are very unhappy with how based the Donald is. 51st state, question mark? I don't know. Venezuela, 51, who knows? Who knows? Now, this is crazy, by the way. This is insane levels of mogging. The White House tweeted, full circle moment.
And now,
bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. So Sneeko, he's a leftist. Well, he claims to be a base right-wing guy, but in reality, he's a leftist, communist, Islamist, retard, potential pedophile. And he's saying, Obama, we need you. No, I can't believe he's wearing the Maduro tracksuit to shit on China. But I love communists that hate America. This is the Sneeko stance. I'm really glad that the true colors of all the dipshits and retards are actually coming out here. This is embarrassing, by the way. Like, actually embarrassing. Holy fuck. Anyway, the United Arab Emirates, our ally in the Middle East, is doing some pretty good things. Right? Just to understand. While we blockade Iran to prevent them from shipping out oil and shit, and slowly it strangles them as well, we are playing something of a good cop, bad cop. While we sit there and watch Iran die, the United Arab Emirates is bombing the fuck out of them.
Fox, the UAE, can you believe this, has been secretly carrying out attacks on
Oh my.
Iran
Oh my.
in response to strikes on its energy infrastructure. Good for them. Excellent.
Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yanks is live in Tel Aviv
W.
with the very latest. Trey, what do you know?
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. The Middle East is bracing for the possibility that the region returns to war in the days ahead. Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Khalibaf, posted to X overnight saying our armed forces are ready to deliver a well-deserved response to any aggression.
Armed forces is like 6 guys riding donkeys with semi-automatic goats. Like these guys, like, bro, you're not ready. You are not ready for them to take gigantic slingshots and fling camels at you in the middle of the sea. All right, they have a devastating force of dipshits, retards, and pedophiles, and they are not afraid to use them.
Strategy and mistaken decisions will always lead to mistaken results. The whole world has already figured this out. We are prepared for all options.
We are prepared for everything, says the guys with no Air Force and no Navy. Yeah, so anyway, they're getting obliterated by the United Arab Emirates, bombing the shit out of them because awesome. Rubio is also cooking more than you could possibly imagine, talking about how NATO is going to be falling apart because he wants to pull all of our troops out of the United States. Why do we need them there?
When we need them to allow us to use their military bases, their answer is no. Then why are we in NATO? You have to ask that question. Why do we have billions and billions of dollars, hundreds
You do
of
have to
billions
ask
of
that
dollars
question.
over the years, trillions of dollars, and all these American forces stationed in the region?
Yeah.
If we can only use, in our time of need, we're not going to be allowed to use those bases.
You mean to tell me we're only allowed to use your bases when you need help, but when we want help, you're not going to let us use your shit? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Every year, 100,000 troops and $60 billion are spent defending Europe. Why? Literally, why? I complain about this all the time, and no one actually wants to engage. Look, I don't want any foreign funding, period. This is like my stance all the time. I said this before, I'll say it again. I am way too Jewish to be giving money to Israel, okay? Listen, I don't want any foreign funding. That includes Israel. It includes NATO, because NATO is foreign funding, because these fuckers aren't helping us with jack shit, all right? We, for the record, we spend like $3 billion on Israel. We spend $60 billion defending Europe. And we gain jack shit from that alliance. Zero. At least our money to Israel is somehow recuperated by them investing in our weapons technologies and shit. You know, we're going to be building the Golden Dome, which is basically Israeli tech. All right? Like, for example, we could project power in the Middle East without actually using any of our soldiers, you know, hopefully. And here, this is useless. This is completely and utterly fucking useless. And it's going for what? To defend the Islamic Caliphate of Europe? Why?
So I think there's no doubt, unfortunately, after this conflict is concluded, we are going to have to re-examine that relationship. We're going to have to re-examine the value of NATO in that alliance.
Oh, my.
Ultimately, that's a decision for the president to make. And he'll have to make it. We're going to finish the job here. As I said, we're very, very close to achieving our objectives on all of these things that I've outlined. But I do think, unfortunately, we are going to have to re-examine whether or not this alliance that has served this country well for
I don't support giving any funding to countries where they fuck their cousins, which means England, France, you're cooked. Anywho, this is pretty wild. Now, Saudi Arabia, not the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia got involved and also struck Iran.
Jumping in too. Reports say
these are our allies. Welcome to the new world. In the new world, our allies are Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Israel, Argentina, El Salvador, and Japan. Our allies are not fucking the Eurocucks that are out there to import as many rapists as they possibly can into their countries. Sorry.
Strikes on Iran. They hit an oil refinery last month.
Yeah.
And Reuters is reporting that the Saudis got off the sidelines.
Ooh.
In retaliation to Iranian aggression. The kingdom launched missiles inside the mainland. You know it's bad when the Jews and Arabs are on the same page.
That's bad, bro. That is diabolical. When that happens, it's over. It's Jover, bro. It's just Jover when that happens. Yeah, you never want that to happen. That's crazy. Anyway, breaking, Iran attacks Kuwait because they're terrorists, and that's what they do. Now, this is insane. According to tanker trackers, Iran has not successfully exported any crude oil by sea in the past 28 days. Remember when they said that this blockade wasn't going to do anything? Remember when they said, well, why is Trump doing blockade? Well, anyway, this is why. Because this country is fucking killing itself. They're dying. The regime is cooked. The people are tired. It's economically destroyed. It's militarily destroyed. This is a colossal W. And Trump has no rush whatsoever to actually get involved in more conflict. They're just killing themselves at this point. Now, God decided to get involved. So not only are we strangling them economically and the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia bombing them militarily, but God got involved. Huge earthquake hits Tehran, capital of Iran. This was last night. I believe it was like a 4.9 earthquake. Now a second earthquake hits Tehran. What is going on? Eastern Tehran was hit by 9 earthquakes overnight. God has entered the chat, or they're testing nukes. More likely God. That's insane. Oh my God. Now it's gotten pretty wild. The people do not want to address geopolitical conflicts or geopolitical operations. A lot of people are just focused on domestic policy, and I think honestly, Trump is much stronger on the foreign policy than the domestic policy. The reality is, good things are happening overseas, and good things are happening on our home turf. And so many people are so retarded because of various agendas that they have. I know every Pakistani bot farm is trying to explain to you how actually Israel is evil and manipulating the United States into losing a war with some goat fuckers. All right, I'm sorry, man. Wake up, smell the coffee, enter reality. And if somebody has an agenda and they're trying to sell you something, maybe what they're trying to sell you is not the truth.
Fox News alert, wheels up. Air Force One's on the way to Beijing. The commander-in-chief preparing for a high-stakes meeting with Xi Jinping. China's already rolling out the red carpet because the president's bringing the dream team, Rubio, Hegseth, and Scotty B. Rubio's been banned and sanctioned by the Chinese for 6 years, and they just lifted it. He's clear. And the president's bringing the best and brightest, 16 CEOs, including from Apple, Boeing, Goldman, and Visa, all flying.
That's right.
Even
and we have all the cards. Elon.
Be just like the good old times.
Wow.
POTUS says we make a lot of money with China and is using the trip as a big business opportunity. But the two will have a lot to talk about. AI, Taiwan, and obviously Iran.
We're going to have a long talk about it.
What's going on there?
It's been relatively good, to be honest with you. You look at the blockade, no problem. They get a lot of their oil from that area. We've had no problem. And he's been a friend of mine. He's been somebody that we get along with.
That's good. That would be great.
Good things are going to happen. This is going to be a very exciting trip. A lot of good things are going to happen.
Beijing's economy is showing some cracks, and without their top 2 oil proxies, Iran and Venezuela, the Chinese are getting a little desperate. And they may even offer us a little help with the gay Ayatollah.
Oh my God.
Says,
that's a big part of it too. You have to understand, one of the major bankrollers of Iran was China. All right, these guys, these people were literally in the orgy of doom. They were sucking each other off in the most diabolical fucking ways possible. All right, just understand, okay? This is crazy on every single metric. China needs us now. They've never needed us really before, but they need us now more than ever. And they could literally pull the strings and topple the Iranian regime even potentially, because they're basically propping it up because they have no money. It's pretty fucking crazy watching the geopolitical dominoes fall. And everyone's like, Trump doesn't have a plan, actually. Hi, I'm a Democrat. I'm rooting for terrorists, rapists, pedophiles. Trump has no plan. Meanwhile, everything just happens to work out. Wow, it's so funny how that happens.
One way or the other. We'll win it peacefully or otherwise.
The generals prefer otherwise. They're saying the Iranians just drove past a major off-ramp. We could be on the road to more war. NBC reporting that the president already has a name if he restarts bombing again. Operation Sledgehammer.
Oh shit.
For peace.
Oh shit.
It's very simple.
Oh
Iran
shit.
Cannot have a nuclear
it
weapon.
doesn't stop.
They will not have a nuclear weapon. They know that. They've agreed to that. And then that's not what they said to me when it came to we don't play games. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
The president called Iran's latest proposal unacceptable. And now the ceasefire is on life support. 47 might have to break the negotiation stalemate.
According to regional sources that I talked to this morning, the domestic pressure on the regime is increasing each and every day. And they view this broadly as something called death by 1,000 cuts. They believe that President Trump has a variety of options on the table moving forward that could damage the Iranian regime further on a military level that would make it even more difficult for those in Tehran to rebuild after the war.
Reports say the president's considering a resumption of major combat operations.
We'll see what
the
happens.
Pentagon says they are locked and loaded.
We'll see what happens.
We have a plan to escalate if necessary. We have a plan to retrograde if necessary. We have a plan to shift assets. Certainly in this setting, we wouldn't reveal what the next step may be, considering the gravity of the mission that the president is undertaking to ensure that Iran never has a nuclear bomb.
On the menu, a special ops mission to snatch Iran's uranium.
And we'll see.
In the last 48 hours, both Trump and the Israelis have toyed around with the idea.
How do you envision the highly enriched uranium?
Unfortunately, I can't show this because 60 Minutes copyrights me every single time I react to literally any other things. But let's just say it gets even hairier.
Just revealed the location of a top-secret submarine.
Oh my.
Capable of launching nuclear missiles.
We're not doing that. We're not going to nuke Iran.
And it's
but they don't know that. That's why I'm telling you, man, libtards want us to lose wars. I've just decided that they hate our country. They want us to die. And not only because they aborted a third of our generation. No, that was definitely, that should have tipped me off. But nope, that wasn't it. It was them literally siding with the pedophile, mass-killing terrorist retards. All right? And being like, no, actually, we're not. It's illegal to kill them. Yeah, sorry, bro. You're going to die. That's how it works in the real world. You die. You want to fight us? You die.
Trident II ballistic missiles.
But they're not going to get bombed. But I do support scaring the fuck out of them.
Targets over 4,500 miles away.
Yeah.
The Pentagon never discloses the locations of their nuclear subs, and they just did, just hours after the Iranians sent us that crummy proposal. On the ground, the military's training robo-dune buggies with mounted machine guns. It's next-gen stuff. They were just seen in Morocco.
That's pretty crazy.
Similar terrain.
That's pretty crazy. You know how many goat fuckers that one thing could kill?
And we're also going to start arming Apache helicopters
Holy
with their own
shit.
drones. Look at that.
Damn,
in the skies, our B-1 bombers are conducting training missions.
Holy shit.
Near the Super Hornets and Growlers launching from the USS Lincoln. General Keane says we might have to pull the trigger.
Uh-oh.
We know the regime is like...
Yeah, we might have to obliterate the fuck out of a generation of pedophiles, actually. Leftists will cry because they love pedophilia, but unfortunately, we're just going to have to do it anyway. 89% of Epstein donations went to Democrats. I'm sure that they feel a kinship with the retards we're blowing up in Iran, but unfortunately for them, it's going to happen. That is why, ultimately, the fate of the world falls in the hands of strong men willing to make tough decisions that a lot of people bitch about. So anyway, I'm really glad that I'm able to actually cover this properly because I feel like a lot of people refuse to cover it at all. Just to understand what I'm saying, here's look at Democrats trying to teach you that actually we're losing a war against these goat fuckers.
They say we're losing.
You've achieved a series of tactical successes, but are on the verge of a strategic loss because we are now negotiating.
Thank you, Senator Kuhn. Very cool.
I think it's so foolish. Here we are in a committee in the United States Senate, 74 days in, and you're talking about strategic loss. We have the ability to defeat a 47-year threat of a pursuit of a nuclear weapon. We have more leverage than we've ever had. We've had incredible battlefield successes, and you're talking about a strategic loss?
You had a technical success because you eliminated an entire regime of leaders, and then the secondary backup leaders were killed too. But currently, they have one limp-dicked gay Ayatollah that's somewhere in a bunker that no one's seen before because he's probably dead. And they have no military, they have no air force, they have no navy, all right? They downed one of our pilots. We were able to go into enemy territory and pick him up. They have proved us completely correct by bombing every single one of their neighbors, by firing missiles that were able to reach 4,000 kilometers, way further than they ever admitted that they were able to have missiles. They claimed they didn't have missiles to reach that far, but they did. We were proved right about every single thing that we have said before the war started. We have won dramatically and massively, and then you get dipshit Senator Kuhn sitting there.
Actually, it may have been a technical victory, but it was a tactical defeat.
The left wants you broken, beaten, and raped, okay? Never fucking forget. If it wasn't half heartbreaking that half our country fucking hates us and wants us dead, it would be hilarious. Now, the Donald is turning heads because he is cooking to an unbelievable degree. This is the kind of thing that everyone was saying was a conspiracy theory for the longest time, but unfortunately for them, it's proven to be true, very true. We all knew it was true. We were told we were crazy, but it's all true. The White House tweeted, under President Trump, replacement migration will never be the standard. The United States objects to the Global Compact on Migration and the UN efforts to facilitate replacement migration. For the record, just this term alone was considered a conspiracy theory for my entire life. But then again, I had eyeballs, which proved this conspiracy theory was not true. I know, it's a pretty crazy to think about. It's like, yes, we are not getting replaced in our home countries at all. This is the most American thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Truly American, very American, more on that later. But Alex Jones even showed up saying, this is what I voted for. Sorry, this is what I voted for. I pray Trump can get it back on track. All right, bro drops this is what I voted for after calling for his impeachment. Replacement migration? No, thank you. Remigration, yes. The left are calling him a Nazi for this. which means that it's good. It's awesome, actually. Whenever the left calls you a Nazi, it means you're doing something right. I don't know if you've picked up on that, but that's basically how it works. Like, bro, it makes me so happy watching these cuckolds seethe. New White House pledges remigration. Every leftist on the planet, literally a term Nazis came up with because ethnic cleansing sounded bad. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The Nazis were really worried about sounding bad. Like, dude, you look at the way people are talking about this. Never black pill. 4 years ago, this post would have gotten you erased from the entire internet, banned from your banking system, fired from your job, and blackballed from future employment in the Fortune 500. Bro, worked so hard for this for so many years. This might be the greatest day of my life. I can't believe we now have an admin willing to fight against this. Incredible. Now, a lot of people are saying it's just a tweet. No, it's not just a tweet. It is an Overton window shift. A lot of people think that voting for Democrats is actually going to make more radical Republicans. No, it will make the Republican donors get some sort of limp-dicked cockwaffle to actually run in order to get as many centrist votes as they possibly can when the leftists inevitably destroy our country. All right? Absolutely not. It's the Overton window shift of our lifetime, and we are going to be getting some radical motherfucker into office at some point because this is resonating with the people. All right? And it is, the toothpaste's not going back in the tube as much as I'd like to say. Now, Trump also torched a reporter.
I've doubled the size of it because we obviously need that. And we're right now on budget, under budget, and ahead of schedule.
He just says they doubled the size, and then the reporter says, but the price is double.
I doubled the size of it, you dumb person.
Thanks! That's what I'm talking about. 9 out of 10, if he would have called her a dumb bitch, I would have approved a little more. But, we'll take dumb person. All right, so absolute cinema. That's right. We doubled the size of it. Of course, the price double, you dumb fuck. Which would have also been a 10 out of 10 response. Now, the White House continued cooking. All right, to all the black pillars, all the retards, all the bitch waffles, understand that you lost. You lost. Your black pilling failed. All your Trump backstabbing attempts, they've fallen apart. The White House says they will identify and neutralize political groups that are anti-American. Oh my God, absolute cinema, absolute cinema. Hassan Piker in shambles right now. Now, just to understand, libtards are in big trouble. This is going after everyone that is an enemy of the United States. Now, they're saying that radically pro-transgender is included in this. Fucking awesome. Let's go, dude. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna round up every transgender person and put them into a camp. God, no. We need to make asylums for them, obviously. Now, anyway, official Trump government declaration. Oh no, radically pro-transgender is an anti-American ideology. True. Based. Actually, castrating children is a bad thing. I know this is the hot take for you. Oh no, I can't believe Nux said the quiet part out loud. That he's against the castration of children. Yeah, I know. It's a really hot take. Now, I don't want to ruffle any panties over here, but I'm against the castration of adults, too. I know, I'm a radical. Anyway, our new U.S. counterterrorism strategy, yada, yada, etc., etc. And then they tweet this highlighted, we will find you and we will kill you. If you hurt Americans or planning to hurt Americans, we will find you and kill you. That's fucking awesome, actually. Man, I love when a government is actually like, yeah, we're actually going to kill our enemies that are trying to kill us, not literally release them from prisons 4 bajillion times until we're all dead. Man, a non-suicidal government in the United States? I can't even believe it. Now, the leftoids are losing their mind because, oh my God, you're using words like kill you. I can't believe it. I mean, yeah, I celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk, but I can't believe you would kill the innocent goat fucking pedophile terrorist that's building a nuclear weapon to destroy us. Yeah, we know. We know your stances. Donald J. Trump is gonna kill you. I love just doubling down. Like, you can never engage with these people. There's no purpose to explain to them nuances like self-defense and killing terrorists is fucking awesome, actually. Just yep, Trump is gonna kill you. That sucks, man. That sucks. Wow, I can't believe it. Oh, that sucks, bro. Trump is gonna kill you. Anyway, moving on. This is how you need to engage with this shit. Now, just to understand, this has been going very, very viral yesterday, and being that Trump is actually cracking down on radical pro-transgender ideology, calling it anti-American based, actually, because America has a constitution founded on biblical principles, and in the Bible, not only does it obviously say there's 2 genders, male and female, I made them, it says in Genesis, but it also says in Deuteronomy that anyone castrated is not welcome in the congregation of God, which is it's pretty intense. Anywho,
you want to know the specifics, but yeah.
Is that hormone replacement
therapy? Yeah.
Hormone replacement therapy. This is an individual who murdered a transgender guy who took drugs and murdered his parents.
So being 28 years old now, at what age did you know that you wanted to transition?
I mean, since I was born, but the earliest I can remember is 2.
Did your parents know prior to that?
My parents knew, my mom knew for 3 years, since 2019.
Okay.
July.
Was that a big topic of contention between you and her?
It wasn't a huge topic, but she was more like, how could I put it?
I'm a mentally ill retard that wanted to chop off my own dick, and my mom was like, no, please don't do that. So, obviously, they didn't see eye to eye.
Not very supportive. She was in shock, just didn't say anything.
Understandable.
And
yeah,
then
based.
She's never supportive since, and she kept calling me my dead name and a bunch of other stuff, so...
No! They called him by his dead name. He used to be named Steve, and now he's called Xerox. Or whatever the fuck transgender names are.
Mia says she was scheduled to have her long-awaited gender reassignment surgery the following month in July.
So they have a payment plan, and I had insurance. So they paid me about half of it at least, and I was going to do like a payment plan. But my dad was going to help me with a little bit of it, so...
According to Mia, her surgery was all set to go until her mother put a halt to it.
What led up to it was, I got a call from my social worker from the hospital, and like apparently kind of broken HIPAA in a way. They shared the details of the hospital, but the worst one was my mother contacting them to say no on the surgery. And,
So your mother contacted the hospital?
Yep. And so I knew I could probably appeal it with just if that, but she wouldn't. Let's just say I was very furious, and I asked her, I don't want to hear excuses. I want to hear an explanation, and I'm sorry, and I'll do something about it. Anyway, she can't say sorry to save her life, apparently. And
she can't say sorry to save her life. Anyway, that's why I murdered her. Yeah, so again, transgender, schizophrenic, very interesting how these two come together so often. Utah murdered parents because mom interfered with genital surgery. That's right. This is not a mentally well person. This is a fucking retard, okay? I'm sorry, bro. That's just where we're at. There should be zero amounts of, hi, my mom didn't want me to cut my penis off, so I murdered her. Nope, shouldn't even be a thing in civil society that exists whatsoever. After shooting his parents, he went downstairs to speak to his brother, etc., yada, yada. Elon Musk says, wow, because, wow, bro, wow is correct. Wow is correct, actually. This is fucking insane. Now, Asmongold gets involved because this guy says, holy beast mode, all right? In other words, so cool that you killed his mom. Wow, so based, actually, because the mom didn't let him cut his penis off. So Asmongold responds, this is a great example for why trans communities are going on the FBI watch lists. That's right. The trans community is supporting this guy that murdered his mother for not letting him chop off his dick. Understand the level of fucked up society is if that is a thing that's being supported by swaths of people on the internet. That's right. Because I don't hate transgender people, to be clear. I'm a little grossed out, don't get me wrong, but I don't hate them. I really don't. I pity them. They have a mental illness, and society affirms their mental illness, and 42% of them kill themselves. Right? Everyone's freaking out about the hantavirus. It's this new virus that's going around with a 40% mortality rate. Bro, it is more lethal to be transgender than to get the hantavirus. So yes, this is why Trump is putting y'all on a fucking watch list. Now, to understand why the left is actually just an evil, violent party, Irina Zarutska, murdered by a criminal that was released from jail like 30 times or whatever, they're taking down all the murals of her all over the place. Even though they're privately funded, they're taking off these murals because the murals are divisive. That's right. St. George Floydius, all right, blessed be his fent, is literally fucking everywhere. The golden caskets and shit. They idolize that motherfucker, all right? But Irina Zarutska, who's an innocent person who was murdered in cold blood because she was white, it's too divisive to think about her. It's honestly insane. It really is. And this is why. So, Cambridge gunman ID'd Tyler Brown. In 2020, he fired upon 5 police officers. Judge Janet Sanders gave him 5 years of prison. 5 years of prison for a person with a 20-year criminal record that fired upon police officers. 5 years in prison because dipshit leftoid Judge McGoogle felt empathy. I'm sorry, man. I'm done with it. First of all, we shouldn't have female judges. That's obviously a mistake. Second of all, pattern recognition. Pay attention. It's always a female judge. Now, the worst part is, a reporter went to ask her. It's like, what do you think about this case? And the judge didn't even remember the case.
It was hard to hear with the door in the way, but Judge Sanders appeared to say she had no comment and no memory of the case.
She didn't remember the case, that she basically just kind of gave this guy off for murdering people. Now, don't let the left gaslight you. I feel the need to bring this up every once in a while because a lot of people forget what peak woke was like. All right? Now, I see a lot of Trump haters freaking out. You know, Trump is talking about remigration. This is fucking crazy, by the way. All right, it's insane that we're at this point in society where we could talk about remigration instead of replacement migration, calling out the UN. All right, where we're actually putting these fucking retards on FBI watch lists. Yeah, all right, this is a massive development in the public zeitgeist as well as in the actual federal policy. Now understand where we came from under Democrats.
I'm Amara Jones, founder of Trans Media. In this Black Lives Matter moment, Black trans women have a very simple message: stop killing us. We can't expect others to care about us more than we care about ourselves. We're all free, or none of us is.
Yeah, so remember, this is where we came from. We came from trans black women making up fake realities that they're getting genocided in an excuse to fund Black Lives Matter's scams and riots burning down our country. This was the public policy. This was 2020. Never forget where we came from and where we are now. Never forget, bro. We made so much progress, all right? And the fraud is getting shut down too.
We have to take the fraud issue seriously.
We really have the most accelerated, aggressive anti-fraud operation that we've ever seen from the federal government.
Every week, I get a report from the task force. You know, we have our weekly meeting, and I am shocked every single day by the things that we find.
This is not just theft of the American people's money. This is also theft of critical services that the American people rely on.
No amount of fraud is too big or too small. If you're defrauding the taxpayer, you ought to go to prison.
That's right.
Anybody who's helping you ought to go to prison too.
That's right. JD's been cooking on the task force. Now, just to understand, ICE just announced a jaw-dropping fraud bust saying 10,000 foreign students are involved in the federal government's optional practical training. Empty buildings, hundreds of students should be working, but they're not. And it's foreign-linked groups taking money and sending them out of the country. Massive bust has just happened yesterday.
HSI agents have visited problematic OPT employer work sites in Virginia, Texas, Georgia, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, and Florida.
So they are cooking, and they are shutting this shit down. Understand where we are. Understand where we came from. It's bad. Now, this is one of the wildest twists of all time, just to understand exactly where the public discourse is right now. The animated Angry Birds movie, which I've never watched, is currently going giga viral because it's accidentally the most right-wing, chud-coded kids movie of all time. Right? I can't show you clips because of copyright, obviously, but like, understand, bro. We got the wholesome Chungus birds letting the pigs into their societies, okay? The pigs come into society, fuck it all up, and then they have to remigrate the pigs out of bird society because the pigs refuse to assimilate. Understand how diabolical this actually is. Main big pig has a Muslim beard. Green is, well, I'll just show you what the beard looks like, bro. Just for main green pig. Like, you can't unsee this. When I saw this, I couldn't unsee it, bro. So main green pig has the Muslim beard. Green is the primary color of Islam. Pigs invade birdland under the pretense of being friendly. Cucked President Bird welcomes them in. Gaslights the other birds about inclusion. Amnesty International coexist stickers. It's the most anti-migration piece of media ever made. It's insane. They even have a slur for the pigs, bro. This is crazy. They have a slur against the pigs. Oh, take that, porkers! They were so close to calling them piggers. I'm really a little peeved that they didn't. I feel like that would have been fucking crazy. But that works too, bro. And that is porkers with a hard R, brother. All right, so just understand exactly where we are at in society. All right, they could bitch, they could cry, they could squeal, and they could complain. But the toothpaste isn't going back on the tube. And that is what getting a based right-wing administration gets us. And I am so fucking tired of the retards and dipshits saying we should vote Democrat because, well, Trump's not doing enough. You know what? I agree with you. I wish we would deport every single illegal alien and mass deportations would continue, etc., etc. I could list a whole bunch of other stuff too. Objectively, this is fucking awesome. And even more fucking awesome than you might believe. Because it's not a conspiracy theory anymore.
This post would have gotten you erased from the entire
That's right. Rubio State Department just released this shit.
Banned from the entire banking system,
Yep.
fired from your job, and blackballed from future employment in the Fortune 500. So what's the post? Last week, the United States refused to participate in the UN's review of the Global Compact on Migration. The United States objects to the Global Compact on Migration and UN efforts to facilitate replacement migration to the United States and our Western allies. Man.
Bro!
Each dot represents 100 migrants. This has 50 million views.
Yeah, we're tired of it, man. This is what free speech gets you.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
What the fuck?
I showed this
graph
graph before.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's a swarm, yes, on just this tiny little area. Facilitate mass migration into America and Europe, even as citizens of the nations called for restrictions on migration. Now the Global Compact's latest report urges nations to expand migration pathways and pursue regularization of migrants. So these people in the UN that are doing this stuff, you need to hold them accountable. Because what they've really done is they've facilitated a cultural genocide. They've facilitated thousands of rapes, murders, and they've done so.
Look, that's why I've been saying the left is the party of sex trafficking. I don't think people understand when I say that. I don't say that as an insult. Well, I mean, I guess technically it is an insult, but I don't say it as an insult. I say it as an objective measure of the rape of our civilization that was brought upon us by leftoids. These people claim they have empathy, but because their ethics are based on literally fucking nothing, spit and duct tape is their fucking ethical system, and they will import infinite retards and rapists into our countries because they refuse to acknowledge that some cultures are just fucking worse. That's right. We are a superior culture. I know it sounds so racist when you say it, and everyone like gives you the stink eye and the side eye, and they glance at you like you're a fucking demon for saying this shit. What am I supposed to do? Lie to you? We are the best civilization in the history of the world. We are a superior culture than these fucking retards that are coming in from third world shitholes into our countries, objectively speaking. And you know what a culture is? A culture is created by its people. It's people of a culture that create the culture. It's not magic earth, okay? We're not on magic American soil that anyone that just steps on this soil is just part of our culture the same way we are. That's obviously not fucking true. A culture is its people, and it's created downstream of religion, in my opinion. And the biblical morality that seeped into our bones as a culture does not exist in places where we are importing fucking barbarians and savages. All right, I'm just gonna be real with you. That's an objective fact. That's not an opinion.
Under the guise of morality, UN-funded NGOs handed out maps to migrants en route to the U.S. After facilitating mass migration to the United States, UN agencies condemned the deportations of illegal aliens. As Europe sustained migratory pressure, the UN agencies condemned frontline states who refused to open their borders. And while the UK faced unprecedented illegal boat crossings, the UN agency condemned plans for deportations. UN officials lobbied aviation regulators.
And the UN will sit there because they got votes from some fucking retards in the Congo who speak in clicks and whistles, okay, while they genitally mutilate little girls. They are going to be the arbiters of morality and get a vote on how actually it's immoral for the United States to deport Haitians that are eating our cats. All right, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Nux, you're fear-mongering. I can't believe you're fear-mongering by making believe that some cultures are fucking retards and some cultures are less retarded. Hi, I'm a liberal white woman. I think all men are evil and should die. Unless they're rapists from Somalia, in which case, bring them the fuck over here!
To prevent the deportation of migrants, an appalling violation of the UK's national sovereignty. The United States will not legitimize global compacts that enable mass migration into America or Western nations.
That's
Under
where we're
President
at,
Trump, the State Department will facilitate remigration, not replacement migration.
It's not just me saying, you go to these NATO
Dude, Rubio is the GOAT! Rubio's the GOAT. Look, as it stands right now, I don't know if it'll be different, but as it stands right now, I totally would back him for 2028.
To meet with people, what they will tell you is our shared history, our shared legacy, our shared values. Well, if you erase your shared history, your shared culture, your shared ideology, your shared priorities, your shared principles, then what? Then you just have a straight-up defense agreement. That's all you have. So what I'm trying to point to, and what we've tried to point to, is very simple.
Sorry, UN, y'all are done.
That is at the bedrock and at the cornerstone of our relationship, with example, with Europe, is the fact that we do have a shared culture, a shared civilization, a shared experience, and shared values and principles. And this nation are the inheritors of, in many cases, because many of these ideas that led to the founding of our country found their genesis in some of these.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
He's the GOAT.
If you take that away, if that's wiped out because for whatever reason it's no longer a priority.
Our culture right now is downstream of thousands of years of all forms of different cultures mashing together and coming together to create ours right here, right now, based fundamentally on biblical values, Greek philosophy, etc., etc. If you take some fucking savage from the third world whose ideology is not inspired by the Bible and whose logic is not inspired by philosophers, but instead they worship a pedophile and support human sacrifice and child rape, I just don't think that they can assimilate properly into our countries. And you know what? Neither does anyone with a rational mind. A lot of people are too scared to say it, but everyone believes this. So when the UN is pushing infinite shit like this, they are lying and manipulating you into accepting the mass rape of your culture and civilization. They're evil, evil people that hide their evilness through little tiny gay fucking masks of empathy, inclusivity, and tolerance. But that doesn't make it any less evil.
I do think it puts...
I'm also really glad, like, there are some Americans that, like, have I guess, like, maybe an ego thing of, like, people not wanting to admit this. But the real truth is that America came from Europe. A lot of our ideals, our values, and everything are shared with Europe.
And it's something that we should be apologetic about. Anyone who doesn't recognize, for example, that many of the features of our system of government find their root in Roman and Greek history is...
That's my guy, bro.
Is a fool. It's just not true.
Yeah, man, I'm really happy to see this. This is great. And Mark's completely right about this, by the way. 4 years ago, this post would have gotten you banned. It's crazy how much progress that we've made in only 4 or 5 years. Like, think about in the peak of 2020, COVID hysteria, and then think about where we're at now.
That's right. I think COVID really radicalized a lot of people, seeing people get banned for random shit that ended up being correct. But the craziest part is, we're here right now. Thank God. We're at a turning point, and we are only getting stronger. That's why they're so scared of us. That's why they'll call us Nazis and fascists and celebrate our assassination. All right, that's why they want us all fucking dead, because they know that they will lose in the marketplace of ideas. And the younger generations, the strong men in my generation, we're coming for your throats. Donald J. Trump is gonna kill you. Now, with all the cooking that Trump has been doing recently, pushing remigration, more deportations, cooking the UN and holding China by the nuts, it's really become very, very awkward watching all of Trump's ops fall apart so miserably. We got inside footage in the White House itself of people talking about how they're trying to actually overthrow Trump from leaked footage and leaked cameras. We got Nick Fuentes laying out his plan on why he's backing Democrats, and I'll be honest, it doesn't look very good for him. His strategy is kind of bad. Dan Bilzerian, massive anti-Trump guy, is getting throttled and humiliated in public. And the #1 Trump op on the right, Thomas Massie, was just exposed for unthinkable things. And it looks like he's going to lose his election in a couple of days. We got lots to talk about. So let's just start with this one. All right, so here's a little clip of a White House staffer on camera saying that they need to get rid of Trump.
We have to get rid of Trump. Seriously. He's a mess. He's fucking it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. We gotta get rid of him. Honestly.
Benjamin Elliston claims that Trump is a dangerous madman and insists that no one can know that he feels this way.
He's a madman. Literally. He's invincible. Nothing can stop him. And that's dangerous.
I don't know. Invincible? Nothing can stop him? Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good to me.
Do people know that how you feel about the president? No.
No, they can't know. Ha ha. Well, we all know now, Benjamin Elliston, senior budget analyst funding manager at the White House. Yeah, it's pretty bad, bro. It's pretty bad. The house is going to be getting a little bit whiter when you're replaced, sir. Anywho, it's getting pretty bad out there for the Trump ops. They keep falling apart because Trump keeps winning. I was promised that I would get sick of the winning, and yet I am not sick of the winning. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. So our guy over here, Steven Crowder, just did a little debate with Nick Fuentes, who's been urging everyone to vote for Democrats. All right, and I'm not going to lie here. It really feels like this is a debate between someone that's grounded in reality and someone delusional. That's how bad it came off.
I really believe that this administration is just cooked. Like, I don't think there's going to be a course correction. I have no faith in this administration.
Course correction. Just to understand, under the Democrats, we would get cooked. Border would be open. 30 million more illegals. Pack the Supreme Court. Gerrymandered all the states the way they wanted to. Like, it would be really, really bad. So yeah, I think the entire stance of Trump betrayed us by killing terrorists that are trying to make nukes, that he's been saying that he was planning on doing for like the last 40 years. All right, or Trump betrayed us, but that's extreme. All right, he didn't stab you in the back. All right, he shifted the Overton window for sure. The public discourse has changed radically. Free speech is actually back in this country, and that's aside from net negative migration, which is the first time it's ever happened in our lifetime. All right, like I could keep going with W's we've been having, aside from obvious gerrymandered districting W's, which is insane. Roe v. Wade overturned, which is crazy, and the wins are actually massive. All right, but anywho.
I think Trump is old. The people around him are very bad. And so I think the real question is, and this is a huge question, who will be Trump's successor? Because that person is going to define the direction of the party. And I really believe there should be a very competitive primary for the presidential race in 28.
Right, with you.
And what they're trying to do is consolidate support around either Vance or Rubio.
Meaning they're trying to win. They're trying to take the two most public figures on the Republican Party and actually try to win an election against the Democrats, which are trying to rape our civilization. Yeah.
I'm sure you know, behind the scenes, there's a very big fight going on between donors and between party personnel. Are they going to get behind Rubio, which he seems to have the backing of the neocons and Mark Levin and AIPAC and Miriam Adelson? Or are they going to get behind Vance, who has the support of Little Tech, Palantir, Tucker, you know, and he's going to clearly run in the more America First lane. At least nominally, he's going to claim that. And I think that we should not have consolidation where it's 80% behind one candidate. I think it should be wide open. I also don't like either Rubio or Vance, because I think you get a neocon or a Palantir guy. And so to me, the only way to have an open field is if everyone associated with the administration is sufficiently weakened. So I'm actually rooting for Democrats to degrade and sabotage.
Really glad he's laying his position out there. I'm really glad that the position is getting so fundamentally laid out so we can all understand
this administration and the people in it so that they're less politically viable. And maybe that clears the way for a dark horse or an outsider, someone from outside the MAGA.
Vance and Rubio, they just like Jews a little bit too much. We're going to need to destroy the Republican Party by importing infinite retards into the country and get a Hitler.
A Mar-a-Lago Trump administration to maybe clinch the nomination in 28. And to me, that's really the big picture.
Okay. So here's my primary problem.
All right.
What you just said.
Here we go.
And it's that keyword maybe. So my first question is the roster. You say, yeah, competitive primary. I agree.
Sure.
I hear who you don't want. The roster, the funds, the ground game. Maybe, right? Because you've tried this before. It's failed. The losses are real with the Democrats that we faced.
Right.
So I would argue, I think it'd be tough to argue against. Worst 3 years in modern American history. The wins, the potential wins that you're describing are imaginary with no concretes. And I know that you talked about this with Dan Bilzerian, so I'm not trying to sandbag you here, but if I'm going, okay, there's a risk. It's a political play. Well, I won't be able to take part, along with many conservatives, Republicans, because I cannot vote Democrat. Doesn't mean I'll vote for Republicans all across the board. Can't vote Democrat. But the roster, the funds, the ground game. You know, the things that you need to win elections in 2028 through the major risk of handing the country over to Democrats when we know that that means open borders, packing the courts, turning them into citizens, right, DEI back in the administration, H-1B skyrocketing, again, all of that. Huge risk, concretes, so we see the payoff.
And honestly, he's just kind of right here. Like, he's being very polite about this entire discussion, but I think it's very polite of him to basically say, you're willing to sacrifice the entire country on the chance of getting some dark horse, epic, Giga Chad candidate that's actually going to do all the things. I don't know, man. I think that it's a little bit insane. I think the best way to shift the Overton window and keep pushing people more right is when people are more right-wing than the administration. Look, I'm happy with Trump. I think Trump did a lot of really good things. Sure, I disagree with certain things, and I wish he would have done better in certain areas. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, actually, abject failure, total backstab, especially because the country is more right-wing now than it ever has been ever. The actual Republicans, they're losing their primaries, the gay ones. All the gay Republicans are cooked. We're replacing them with actual radicals, or we're absolutely trying. We are making phenomenal progress, just socially. And we don't have Democrats in office. We didn't need Democrats in office to get ourselves there. Democrats in office will make us vote for literally fucking anybody that isn't a Democrat, and we're going to end up with the most lukewarm, centrist, gay fucking Republican of all time. Just because, like, holy shit, we got to get away from some AOC president. God forbid. We take literally fucking anybody on the right. And I don't want that. I don't want President Vivek Ramaswamy in charge of the country because we fucking absolutely despise the fact that Gavin Newsom decided to give citizenship to infinite illegal aliens. All right, sorry. Now, one of the major claims here also is that the reason why DHS morale is low is because Trump is holding them back.
Well, the morale is low.
I actually really don't. You're probably more welcome than I am.
Really?
Surprising as it is.
Well,
you're more congenial.
I'm a pretty congenial guy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm more of a
friendly. No, you're a good guy, Stephen. Because we get along. But in DHS, the morale is super low. They're literally going and telling people
it's low because of sanctuary cities and people fucking kicking out their taillights and them being hamstrung like you're sidestepping people
objectively true.
Sanctuary cities. The left will not deport violent felons in our prison system, Nick, and you're telling people to vote for them.
Yeah, so it's total delusion to think that the reason why ICE isn't doing more is because of Trump, and as opposed to the fact that the Democrats literally decided to do little insurrections in every single major city across the entire country. All right, and we are actually pushing legislation, unfortunately, really fucking slowly because Trump isn't activating the National Guard nearly enough. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like absolving Trump here, but to say that morale is low because of Trump and not morale is low because Antifa terrorists and Islamists and retards are throwing bricks at their heads, that's very different. And the mayors of these cities are literally working with these people. Look, man, I would love a president that would sit there and be like, oh, you're endorsing violent riots against our agents and then arrest the entire government of a city. That sounds fucking awesome. And you know how we're going to get there? Not by voting for Democrats. We're going to get there by voting for more and more radical Republicans on a city level, a state level, and on a federal level. We are actually going to get a fucking badass administration at some point in my lifetime. It's going to happen. We're going to get actual savage radicals. But unfortunately, it seems like some people are so pigeonholed into their little ideology. Like, Nick Fuentes is like, the Jews bad, Jews controlling everything. So therefore, he just doesn't want to vote for any candidate that's pro-Jew. You're pro-Jew, you're cooked in the Nick Fuentes world. All right, and look, man, I don't even care if he hates the Jews. I think lots of people hate the Jews. I love our country, and I want what's best for our country. What's best for our country is not some guy that, well, at least he hates the Jews. And I keep seeing so many people with these agendas pushing their bullshit because of the agenda. Their agenda first and country second, and it's insane. Like Tucker Carlson, who even Nick Fuentes thinks is getting paid off by Qatar.
We have, Mug Club subscribers, and I know because you've been around a long time, we started from the ground up, and then we do one spot a day. And you too. I mean, you weren't a part of some big conglomerate, or as far as I know, any massive nonprofits. And I can't confidently say that about, I'd have to think, most anyone else in this movement. I think you represent yourself and I represent myself. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
And that's why I act in good faith here, by the way.
Qatari money there with Duggar?
Thumbs up. Why is he always in the golf? He's always over there.
Yeah.
They got great fishing over there.
He does.
Red Sea, he goes, I bought a house in Qatar. That's my right as an American. You're like, I don't see the connection there, actually.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a right, but...
Yeah. Is that on the back of the Declaration?
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
I don't know. Just let me know.
He takes the Gulf to golf.
Well, he's very, very pro the Gulf. It's not just that he has a house over there that he sees business opportunities. He's very pro, speaks glowingly about them. Like, okay, you're fawning a bit, dude.
I can't wait for his third outfit change. He starts wearing those man dresses with the picnic table hat there.
Just holding
that is one thing I have to say, and I always try to be very honest about this stuff. I appreciate honest people immensely. And while I think that it's a bit traitorous of people like Nick Fuentes to actually support the Islamic regime and hope that they win the war and vote Democrat and shit, I do think he's actually honest. And while I think his strategy is a bit retarded, I actually do respect that he's actually doing something that he believes is best for the country, even though I think it's not. And that's really why I like Crowder, too. He also strikes me as a very honest, upfront guy. Like, the Tucker Carlsons and the Megyn Kellys and the grifters of the world, like, these guys are fucking insufferable. And I cannot extend that same charitability to them. All right, I'm a very decent guy, okay? I treat you in the same level of good faith that I believe you treat me. All right, so while I disagree with your policies and strategies, and I think they're a little bit retarded, I'm not going to sit here and call you a fed, which seems to be the strategy of everybody else trying to just discredit people. So I try to be good faith. Now, speaking of feds and retards, all right, so this is Dan Blazarian. He's another one of these anti-Trump guys saying that Trump needs to be executed. talking about how he wants to execute and assassinate Israeli politicians and Ben Shapiro, allegedly. All right, this is new revelations from this guy. He is running for Congress in Florida purely on the Jews bad card.
I mean, honestly, the only real battle in the world today that I see worth fighting is fucking, exterminating Israel. I mean, I would sign up tomorrow and go fucking put boots on the ground and go fucking kill Israelis. That would be a great day for me.
All right, so this is him talking to Sneeko, another America First patriot.
Fucking sign up on the fucking draft waiver wherever. Give me a fucking, give me a rifle and send me the fuck over there. I truly believe that the majority of that country is evil and they're perpetuating a genocide.
Oh my God, a pretendicide is happening. Anyway, so again, this dude decided that he was going to do his absolute best. He's going to run for Congress on the Israel bad ticket. That's literally the only thing he knows. He doesn't even know how the government works. He was going to host some sort of rally in the wrong district. He accidentally hosted a rally in the wrong district and then canceled it because apparently no one showed up. Like, it's really bad. All right, he's an Instagram whore, hooker, gambler, drug addict, and now he's doing this whole grift shit, and he's getting funding from Qatar and shit. So it's pretty weird watching this happen again and again and again. Now the biggest twist of all time. Randy Fine, he's the Jewish congressman that this guy's trying to run against, said he's willing to stop aid to Israel. He's obviously lying. The pressure is getting to him. Look, man, I'm also against aid to Israel, to be honest. Congress has no accountability. Politicians lie. I mean, I have no idea why you think he's lying. I don't see any evidence that he's lying, but I guess you think he's lying. The Jewish shadow ban censorship continues. I only got 50,000 likes on this tweet from Pakistanis. I can't believe it. The Jewish censorship. All right, now this is the craziest thing. He wrote in his book, I'm part Jewish, and he says 12% doesn't make you a Jew. He's literally Jewish, bro. He's literally Jewish. Now, the reason why this is funny is because if you go to Dan Bilzerian's account, his entire career is just going to every Jew on Twitter and saying, silence Jew, right? This is literally his entire fucking thing, right? You can never trust a Jew, silence Jew. And he goes to all the Jews, silence Jew, the Goyim are talking, the Jewish shadow ban. It's his entire account, all right? Just silence Jew, right? Bro, that is literally his entire personality is Jews bad. And bro just admitted to being Jewish, 12% Jewish. All right, bro, we got Rabbi Gert Goldberg here. I don't know who this guy is. Oh, yes, it does, Dan. Congratulations and welcome to the club. I'm glad you feel comfortable with this. The Jews are back, boys and girls. Here we go. Here we go. Nick Fuentes, all right, says live on Rumble discussing Dan Bilzerian's Jewish heritage. There is trouble in paradise, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it is very bad day to have your entire personality being how Jews bad, and then it turns out you're Jewish. That's really awkward. So this guy is lying again. I wrote my book 4 years ago, not 10, and Hitler doesn't consider 12% a Jew. You are literally Armenian. Hitler wouldn't have liked you anyway. That's one. And two, bro is literally saying, I'm not a Jew because Hitler wouldn't count it. Silence Jew. No one cares about your opinion. Dan Bilzerian. Dan Blizerian. Haha. Andrew, that's anti-Semitic. Oh, come on. Jews got to find this fucking hilarious. As a Jew, this is the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Just absolute cinema. Every single Trump op looks like a fucking retard. I don't know what kind of spell-casting wizardry Trump has been casting upon his ops, but they are all falling apart. Leaked phone calls, and honestly, this entire vote for Democrat thing, it's so fucking retarded under like 1 ounce of scrutiny. All right, we got this guy out there saying that Trump is too Jewish and he wants to exterminate Israelis and he's running for Congress. Bro gets absolutely slaughtered, admits he's a Jew, gets humiliated by everybody. His current chances of winning is down to like 10%. It's pretty bad. It's really, really bad. It's honestly insane. And this is the biggest one. Thomas Massie, who was always a Republican. He's a Republican guy who's backstabbed Trump on every single bill he possibly could. Sorry, I know there's a lot of Massie fans out there. In my opinion, this dude is allying up with the left, with Ro Khanna and Ilhan Omar to cuck Trump in every way he can and still make believe he's Trump's golden boy while he's running for re-election right now. And it's really bad. So just understand what's been going on. All right, so he has been calling Donald Trump a pedophile, essentially, because of the Epstein files.
Responsibility. And just very quickly, if you will, you've supported most of what Donald Trump has done during his presidency, but because of your actions with these files, he is supporting your primary opponent and has waged very personal attacks on you. I know we just have a few.
Yeah, because he refused to vote for the big, beautiful bill, and also because he's been pushing, quite literally, the most dangerous insinuations of all time, that Trump is running some sort of pedophile cult. Yes, Trump all of a sudden doesn't want this guy around. Is this really surprising to you? Like, I don't know. A lot of people, I can't believe Trump would endorse his opponent just because he called him a pedophile? Yeah?
Seconds here, but just your reaction to that.
Look, this is about the Epstein class, the people who are funding the attacks.
This is such fucking horse shit, it's insane. He is literally pushing Pakistani-ass talking points. Like the lowest IQ leftoid slop is pouring out of this guy, and he wondered why Trump is supporting the guy that's challenging him.
Against me. They may or may not be implicated in these files, but they were certainly rubbing shoulders with the people who are in these.
That's right. Donald Trump threw Epstein out of his house in 2006. He was an FBI informant that got him arrested in 2008. Under Trump, they arrested him again in 2019. And under Trump, they released the Epstein files. Like, my guy, if you were so worried about the Epstein class, why were you fucking silent for 4 years under Biden? All right, this dude was around under Biden when zero progress was made on Epstein, and you said nothing. And now that Trump is here, you're going to stab him in the back and make believe that this is the thing you cared about the most the entire time? Like, I cannot stand these two-faced bootlickers.
Files. They're billionaires who are friends with these people, and that's what I'm up against in Washington, D.C. Donald Trump told us that even though, you know, he had dinner with these kinds of people in New York City.
He had dinner with rich people. I can't believe it. Anyway, Thomas Massie accused Donald Trump of being in with the Epstein class without hesitating. Now, Massie is silent in the face of accusations that he tried to pay hush money to an ex-girlfriend to stop her from pursuing a workplace relationship claim. Oh my, trouble in paradise? It's always the ones that scream the loudest, isn't it? Well, anyway, it's fine to not like Thomas Massie. It's sick to spread completely unfounded sex allegations days before an election. That's the Democrat playbook. Now, to be clear, it's not completely unfounded. That's one. And we're going to get there in a second. And two, Thomas Massie sent the country into a psychosis, forcing the DOJ to release anonymous tip lines so he could brandish the White House as the Epstein administration after they backed his challenger for not supporting the one big, beautiful bill. Doesn't have a leg to stand on. Release the Massie files. To understand, he felt bad. All right, they didn't like him because he wasn't supporting Trump's agenda. And all of a sudden, this guy shows up here pushing this Epstein administration shit. Like, oh my God, it is really bad. Really bad. Now, don't get me wrong. All in all, I am happy with the work that he actually did to release as many of the Epstein files as we got. I think we got a lot more because of him, and I'm happy he did that. And I can also simultaneously acknowledge that doesn't make him any less of a backstabbing bitch. He ended up calling out a whole bunch of names in Congress that he had to later take back because he ended up slandering a whole bunch of people. He branded Trump as the Epstein administration after being silent on Biden. So while I'm happy ultimately that we got the files, and a lot of that is actually because of Thomas Massie, I'm not going to sit here and make believe that this dude isn't a fucking fraud traitor. I'm sorry, bro. The damage Massie has done to public discourse is bordering on incalculable, a total loathsome figure. All right, bro. It's getting wild out there. Now, to understand the Thomas Massie files, here's where we're at.
Forms or identify any evidence or identify witnesses?
Yeah.
Did you comply with all those requirements?
I did.
And in the course of filling out those documents, did you by any chance list Thomas Massie as a potential witness?
I did, yes.
Uh-oh.
How did he react to that?
Well, out of courtesy, when I started the process, I called him up to let him know. And he was very angry.
No shit.
And he said, you're just...
Right, just to understand what's going on here, Cynthia West, allegedly an ex-girlfriend of Thomas Massie, exposes him as a sexual deviant and bribed her with $5,000 in cash to stay silent. Massie DM'd her on X August 2024, not even 2 months after his wife of 31 years passed away in June 2024. Massie ended up getting her on a congressional staffer job in D.C. Massie pressured her into being involved with the deviant sexual behavior with him, allegedly. Cynthia rejected, feeling extremely pressured and uncomfortable. When she rejected, Thomas Massie had her fired, bribed her, and threatened her not to file a complaint. A complaint was filed in 2025, at the same time period when Massie remarried to a different staffer 20 years younger than Massie. All right, and this is the guy screaming about Epstein, by the way. Now, again, I'm not saying that any of these allegations are true. I'm just saying glass houses, closets, and skeletons.
You're just one person that you can't make a difference, that you need to just walk away. And then he had $5,000 that he said that he would give me if I could just walk away.
Oh, my.
I didn't take it, though.
Oh, my. That sounds like hush money, if that's true.
No, he has cash. So it's part of his cow money, right? It's his non-traceable money.
Cow money, you say?
No, wait a minute. You said it's part of his cow money?
Cow money?
Yeah, because he's got cows. He sells cows and he gets cash.
Allegedly tax fraud, eh? Wow, this is not good.
No.
Not good at all. Yeah, so it's looking pretty hairy out there for old Massey. Now, to be clear, yeah, I want him to lose. Absolutely. I think he's a traitor, ultimately. However, that said, I do not want to ruin someone's life through, like, slander allegations of hush money and stuff. So, I mean, he did respond to this, actually, but it keeps getting worse. All right, West told Axios that she began dating Massey after he messaged her on X shortly after his wife died. She broke up with him after he grew allegedly emotionally abusive because she refused to engage behavior I wasn't comfortable with, allegedly, all right? These are her allegations, all right? So, the Massey files have dropped. A lot of people are talking about this. It looks really, really bad. Well, I'm not gonna lie, more and more evidence keeps dropping out, that we keep getting more and more shit from different people. So Laura Loomer over here says that she obtained new evidence regarding Thomas Massey taking romantic trips to South Africa with 2 different women, his accuser Cynthia West and his honeymoon with his now wife. All right, this was right after his actual wife died. All right, now a lot of people are saying we have to start investigating the death of his wife. This is getting extreme. I don't like the slander campaigns in general. I don't know if this is real. All right, allegedly, West accused Thomas Massey of pressuring her for sexual acts and retaliating when she rejected him. I don't want to get into the details and the specifics. I'm just saying, Alex Jones called for Donald Trump's impeachment and he lost his company. Tucker Carlson is getting allegedly checked out by the CIA for leaking information to our adversaries politically. You got Dan Blazarian as a Jew, which might be the worst of all. It's bad. Thomas Massey, while all this is going on, is keep posting stuff about Epstein, right? So here I explain why our government refuses to investigate Epstein's clients and co-conspirators. And he's still dropping this in like a collab with Tucker Carlson. Literally in a collab with Tucker Carlson. The Tucker Carlson network, he's still posting about Epstein and shit because Tucker Carlson is another one of these backstabbers. It is so bad. Now, Thomas Massey responded, "It's sad that a week before this election, people are making false and unsubstantiated allegations about me in an obvious attempt to influence the outcome of the election. All the claims of inappropriate conduct are false and never offered anyone money in exchange for their silence. I report all my farm income, including cash, to the IRS. There's no ethics claims filed against me, nor have there ever been any claims filed against me in my 14 years of office. I've consulted legal counsel. We are considering all options. We'll see what happens." All right, I'm not here to slander an innocent man. I'm just here to say every single person that goes after Trump gets immediately obliterated, it seems like. And the craziest part is almost every single one of them gets obliterated by their own doing. It's not like some shadow op, deep state operative shows up out of nowhere. It's like, it's literally their own shit that destroys them. All right? Here, did you offer Miss West $5,000 to drop a wrongful termination claim against Rep. Sparks' office? A simple yes or no, please. Of course, he doesn't respond. But this is wild. People already responding with this one. I hate reading all that. I'm happy for you, though, or sorry it happened, which is like a meme on the kind of shit Massey would be saying about the Epstein stuff. Now, just to understand why I'm actually taking this relatively seriously, not the allegations per se, but this total humiliation and destruction, is because I think that the slander campaign in regards to the Epstein files was potentially one of the most vile public slander campaigns with virtually zero evidence I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, when Trump said that the Epstein files were a Democrat hoax, he was actually proven completely correct. Because while obviously it's not true that Epstein was innocent, he was a vile fucking monster who's dead now. And I would love more investigations for all the people that actually had some sort of contact or business dealings with him. I would love to see more of these rich pedophiles going to jail. There is zero evidence that Trump did anything wrong whatsoever, just because his name is mentioned in there as pushed by people in his own fucking unit, all right? They're supposed to have his back. All right, they decided to push the most unbelievable slander shit I've ever seen, and now you live by the false allegations, you die by the false allegations. Again, I'm not supporting false allegations. I'm not even claiming that these are real or false. I don't know. In time will tell, ultimately. I am, however, noticing that the Egyptians tried to drown the Israelite babies in water, and God ended up punishing them by drowning them in water. And if this isn't the most eye for an eye shit I've ever seen in my entire life, I don't know what is. Now, just to understand, new Congress poll in Kentucky, Galrain, which is a virtual nobody, but he got the Trump endorsement, versus Massey, and Galrain is winning by a lot right now in the polls. We'll see what happens. It's over in a little bit. We're almost there. And if this happens, it will be absolutely phenomenal. Everyone screams and yells about how Donald Trump lost MAGA. Donald Trump is MAGA. Every single one of these upstart backstabbers is getting fucking obliterated. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's kind of entertaining to watch. Donald Trump, he was almost jailed. They had all forms of fake allegations made against him with all these former women coming out 30 years after saying that he raped them, all right, with these fake allegations and bullshit like that, where this dude had the most unending campaign calling him a Nazi, calling him Hitler. They tried to fucking jail him. They tried to fucking kill him multiple times. It is wild watching every backstabber get destroyed. And I will not lie, it is a tad entertaining. Do I think Trump is perfect? Absolutely not. Do I wish he'd be doing a lot more? Yes. I think, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think Trump is an old school Democrat, but the Overton window is shifting. He's done amazing things. And I am watching the most entitled, ungrateful bastards of all time getting fucking obliterated. And also, most importantly of all, bro, Dan Bilzerian's a Jew, bro. Literally silenced Jew. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is a borough council in London, not one British person. They're not replacing you guys. It's a myth. It's a myth, guys. It's a myth. While the United States is pushing this anti-migration policies, Europe is dying. It is. All right, so, you know, Donald Trump posted this one. Remigration. No more replacement migration. Going to war with the UN. We got libcuck universe over here in England absolutely getting obliterated. And don't worry, because I have to show you the establishment cuckery still trying to defend this garbage. All right, this is a town council meeting in England. Not Afghanistan, by the way. Pay attention.
जब तक सुनो टीवी मुलाजमीन को मिलके उनके वाजिबात के हवाले से और बैठ के उनको सुनता नहीं है सुनो टीवी के ऐड बन रहा
Beautiful. I'm inspired.
मैं सिंध गवर्नमेंट से पंजाब गवर्नमेंट से केपी गवर्नमेंट से और बलूचिस्तान गवर्नमेंट से भी मुल्तमिस हूँ जिस तरह फेडरल गवर्नमेंट ने सुनो टीवी के ऐड बंद करने का ऐलान किया है
Wow.
रेप्लिकेट करें
So real. England, guys, England. Now, the reason why I'm showing this to you, the total takeover that's happening in England, like just understand what's going on in Europe. All right, so this is a fire on a migrant house. After 2 weeks of protest, the school, which was turned into asylum because they tell you to abort your children and then they import a new class of society to take over instead. It was set on fire tonight in Loodstrecht in the Netherlands. Now, the protesters blocked the road for the firefighters to make it impossible for them to put out the fire. This is insane. This is where people have gotten to. At some point, elections are just going to be off the table. The countries are just going to betray them too many times, and they're going to stop the firefighters from putting out the fires. Like, it is getting really, really dangerous over there, and people are tired of it. Polish police arrest 4 Swedish citizens for robbing and threatening a Norwegian tourist in Gdansk. Get ready. The 4 men risked 20 years in Polish prison, and they were identified as Mohammed H. from Sweden, Jabril H. from Sweden, Senal Saned, and Aran Akib. Understand what we're doing here, boys. Understand what we're doing here, boys. All right, now, breaking news. This is one of the worst things I've ever read in my life. The bodies believed to be 3 young girls have been found on Brighton Beach in Sussex, in England. There are currently no further details at this time. Like, understand how insane it is. They're believed to be 3 girls. That's how badly they were mutilated. All right, now, a lot of people don't understand per capita, so I'll introduce you to a little bit of facts about the United Kingdom before we actually get into the absolute cuckery that you're about to witness. This is one of the worst debates of all time. Piers Morgan making believe that actually there's literally no difference between a white guy from England and a Pakistani Muslim who happens to have British paperwork. It might be some of the most unbelievable shit ever. So let's look at some stats. Pakistani Muslims are 6.5% of the population of England. To be clear, that's relatively little, right? You'd think that's still a minority. They're 90% of the terror threats, 83% of the child gang rapes, 18.2% of the prison population, 63% are married to their cousins, 31% of genetic disorders in the entire country is from Muslims, all right? Despite being 6% of the population. 6,655 FGM attendees, 48.6% of the non-employed people. Bro, 6% of the population, half of the unemployed peoples, 27% in social housing. They are raping the country quite literally and also figuratively. And now that you have the facts completely at your fingertips, and here's the evidence to all of it. All the evidence is below. It's literally, it's official. This is according to the government, right? This is after the cover-ups. Understand how bad it is that this is after the government cover-ups. These are still the stats. Now I'm going to show you the worst debate in the history of the world. Because not only is the left sitting there and being gay about it and they don't want to be racist, but they are demons. I don't know how these people could live with themselves, enabling the rape of their country, enabling the destruction of their civilization. Well, this is why the left is fucking evil and retarded, and they have zero morals whatsoever. I'm so grateful whenever they're so gracious enough to prove my point that they're immoral psychopaths or retards, but one or the other, and there is no third option. I mean, this is their prime minister right now. I don't know if we should be surprised.
He called us orcs and goons. But, Mr. Speaker, I am a gooner, and so, as usual, she is less than half right.
Yeah, so bro's out there at Parliament calling himself a gooner, and we're wondering why he's bringing in the rape community into his country, much to the surprise of everyone. Now, I don't want to get into like details right now behind all these specifics and these stats and why they do these things. I don't want to get into the fact, the reasons why some cultures are inferior. But it's objectively true that they are. I don't know if it's maybe a religion that actually worships a pedophile, or potentially because their laws allow the subjugation and violent rape of children and taking sex slaves or something. I don't know if maybe that has anything to do with it at all. But that is not the discussion to be had today. It's an objective fact that this is fucking astounding, and it's objectively moral to not want to bring these people into your country. So lock in, get ready.
Well, hang on. When you say that there's various stats which are misleading, Gavin did ask a pertinent question. When you say that most crime is committed by white people, well, it should be. That's still the dominant racial element.
90% of the country is white people, and they're like, I can't believe most crime is done by white people. You're Islamophobic.
In England, what about per capita, meaning per proportion?
But my question.
Hang on, real quick. I'm almost done.
Okay.
Is there a disproportionate amount of crime from these immigrants in comparison to the domestic population? That's his question. I think it's valid.
Specifically, child rape.
Yeah, let's talk about child rape. They love doing that in those countries. So
Actually, the vast majority of child rape is perpetrated in the UK by white people.
Because they're 90% of the population, you fucking retard. Like, again, is he actually fucking retarded or evil? These are the two options. I want to radicalize enough people and let enough people recognize that if you're a leftist, you're either evil or retarded. There is no third option. All right, so is he retarded and he doesn't understand per capita? Or is he evil and demonic and allowing the rape of his entire culture because he doesn't want to look racist?
Asking about
per capita.
We're asking about.
Okay, but why does Tommy Robinson? I don't know the per capita number. I'll get it while we're talking.
85%.
How the fuck do you not know that if you're a British commentator?
Of gang rapes in this country are perpetrated by South Asian men, according to the Quillian report.
South Asian means Pakistani Muslim.
Of 2017.
Well, actually, they were British Pakistani men, to be specific.
Actually, they weren't South Asian. They were British. Pakistanis, but British. They had paperwork. They weren't South Asian because they were British. This is what they fucking do to you, man.
In parts of
South Asian
in parts of the north of England, right?
Kashmir, which was, Pakistan.
Yeah, from Mirpur. Mostly from Mirpur.
That's what the rally's about on May 16th.
But my point, Andrew, is...
It's the per capita rally.
My point to Andrew is it helpful that Tommy Robinson only fuels a narrative that all the crimes are being committed by Muslims when they're not?
Yes. He doesn't say that all the crimes ever are committed by them, but it's way disproportionate. And the more that they get away with this shit, and the more they import more of them, and the more this actually happens, the more these people take power, and the more they let this happen, the more they cover up the crimes, and an entire generation of women, of girls, got raped in England. All right? Yes, it's an objective fact. 6% of the population did 90% of the gang rapes? Like, do you even hear this shit, dude? Like, that's absurd. Absolutely absurd.
I'm not convinced that that's
actually... In fact, the numbers are even worse than that. Because 6.5%, 6.5% includes the women. It includes the Pakistani Muslim women. That's right. It's more like 3%. That's how tiny it is. 3% of the population committing 90% of the gang rapes. And you're going to tell me that this isn't a cultural issue? It's Islamophobic to notice? Like, you got to be fucking retarded.
Accurate. So it's...
Or evil. That's the other option.
See, I've watched a few of the Robinson debates, and he tends to focus on disproportionate crime rates.
That's right.
What Gavin's talking about here,
because the culture is fucking bad. It's an inferior culture. Yep, that's right. You could call me racist, but you can't call me wrong.
Per capita. He's saying that disproportionate to the domestic population that's here, these people are overwhelmingly committing these types of sex crimes. That doesn't sound to me like he's trying to pin everything on Muslims, but rather point out an individualistic and precise problem.
So we have
they love raping kids. That's the one thing that he's pointing out. That this specific culture really likes raping kids. Now, do you want those people to be your neighbors? I don't.
Data for you. The arrest rates by ethnicity per 1,000 people for the year ending March 2020.
For the record, no one's talking about ethnicity right now. We're talking about religion. Muslim is not a race. Muslim is not an ethnicity. Muslim is an ideology. It is not racist, okay? Just to be clear. So this is immediately fake.
25. Black, 19 arrests per 1,000 people. White, 10 arrests per 1,000 people. Asian, 9 arrests per 1,000 people.
Now, Asian includes Indian and Pakistani and Japanese and Chinese. Now, the Japanese and Chinese people's crime rates are really low, but for suspiciously, the Pakistani rate is pretty high. I can't even say it without saying rape anymore. It's so fucking bad these days. Like, every single day, there's another couple of examples of this. Every 54 minutes, there's a rape in London. It's like, what are we doing? Right now, to be clear, that stat means nothing, because one of the major issues is they keep releasing them from prisons. They keep letting them go after catching them. All right, they do not squash the crime as much. So not only is he talking about the Asian ethnicity, which means fucking nothing because it's including ethnicities that no one is talking about, but also it's not talking about child rape. It's talking about crime in general, and also no one's talking about the disproportionate amount of crimes that are being covered up and people let out of jails if they come from these fuck all countries. Right? Just understand how disingenuous those statistics are.
Yeah, now
that's not actually answering the question.
Okay,
everyone immediately notices.
They're not getting
again and again and again.
Piers.
Okay, you asked me to give you.
What a weird side to pick.
The pro
You're mad at the
numbers.
guy who's trying to stop child rape.
Sorry?
And he's like, there you go, you have the numbers. This is the libtard mind. Understand, either evil or retarded.
You're mad at the guy who's trying to stop child rape.
No,
and you're calling him racist.
I'm not.
While
and as
thousands of girls are getting raped.
But again,
they nailed a girl's tongue to a piece of wood as they raped her.
Gavin,
they raped her under the Pakistani flag.
You said this the other day.
They are branding girls M for Muhammad with a hot M.
Gavin, I have repeatedly said that where I agree with Tommy Robinson has been on his relentless campaigning against the grooming rape gangs in the north of England.
That's all he cares about.
Hang on, no, it's not all. It's not all. If only it was all he cares about, but it's not. But the point is, he claims he was the only one who ever exposed this, that the journalists of this country...
So you're mad that he's taking credit for stopping child rape? Like, you cannot make this up, man.
Never exposed it, and yet it was exposed originally by a journalist from the Times newspaper.
Okay.
It was a literal journalist who blew the lid off that whole scandal.
So
Tommy Robinson
he's mad at Tommy Robinson because Tommy Robinson is making people think that in the Islamic cultures, the rape of children is more acceptable. Because it fucking is. Because they do it. Because child marriage is legal in every single one of these Muslim countries. Like, this is crazy to think about. Do you know that in Iran right now, everyone's screaming about Jeffrey Epstein. In Iran right now, there are 2.3 million children married to adults. Like, what are we doing, man?
Right to focus on the cover-ups, which were scandalous and outrageous. And I completely agree with him, as I would say to his face, as I've told him on social media.
You covered it up. You know why? Because you would rather let little girls get raped than be known as racist. All you care about is your status.
Why would you say such a ridiculous thing?
Racist is the worst thing you can be.
He's just right.
So you allow girls to get raped.
Why would you say such a stupid thing?
It's true.
It's demonic.
Every single
what it is. I'm calling you guys demons.
Really?
You hid child
But you
rape.
sound completely unhinged, ironically.
Let's go. Cook him, old man. Bro, that's crazy.
Sound unhinged.
So they make up.
You sound unhinged when you say I'm a demon for importing a culture that's raping my children.
So 4% of the population, but make up 18% of all the people jailed, Piers? What? Am I reading that right? Is that correct? I just want to make sure that I got this right.
And to be clear, they have no reason to be there. The government, against the will of the people, is importing them.
You said you're going to get these per capita numbers, and I want them. Like, what are they? What are the per capita numbers? Because what I'm seeing is not looking very good. Okay? It's not looking very good for your side.
Yeah.
So what are they? What is the actual per capita numbers for these child sex crimes?
I find it extraordinary.
Why do you call someone racist when they point this out?
I've literally just told you the arrest rates for ethnicity. And there's been
literally no one asked this. It's about per capita Muslim people child rape. That's the question.
For themselves.
Well, no, it did. When did you use the word Muslim?
They literally speak for themselves. I'm not pretending Muslims don't commit crimes. So does every other
No,
ethnicity,
religion.
Not like this splitting hairs.
Absolute cinema. You cannot walk yourself out of this hole, man.
Do you think if we're talking
That's
about
not
child
splitting
race,
hairs.
Splitting hairs? We're splitting young girls in half. That's what we're splitting.
Why would you say that?
Oh my god, these words are offensive. More offensive than girls getting ripped to shreds in public. That's right. That is exactly what we're dealing with.
If you've been around people who have been a victim of child sexual abuse...
Oh, you shouldn't talk about children getting raped, because it might trigger someone who heard this, who's been around children getting raped. Fucking retard hour here.
Hearing something like that is horrendous. I can tell you.
Hearing bad things is bad. We can't even talk about it.
No, you know what's horrendous?
If they heard
Getting
you
raped
speak
by an
like
old
that,
Pakistani
you would honestly,
man.
you would
That's
put them
horrendous.
into a real panic. It's awful what you're saying.
What you're saying is awful. It's true. These things are actually happening, but we're not allowed to talk about them.
What? You just can't handle the truth.
I can handle the truth. I actually live in the UK.
We need to get these people out of politics.
And I have for years been talking about the grooming gangs. I've been talking about Labour and what they did not do in certain councils. I've also spoken about people like Andy Burnham, who's the mayor of Manchester. When he was an MP, he was one of the first people to put in a proper
blah, 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 yada, yada. I do so
Inquiry,
many
and
things. I just don't talk about the issue. I talk about the fact that different white men are not arresting the Muslims enough, but I'm not going to talk about how it's the Muslims that are doing the raping.
Actually led to arrests of the people who perpetrated these heinous acts.
Okay, so you're a Tommy Robinson supporter.
I think that it's perfectly legitimate to raise issue and raise light on these horrendous crimes.
But we're not allowed to acknowledge that the culture is literally the issue. We're not allowed to acknowledge that, though.
But I don't
We're on the same
agree.
page.
I do not agree with all of the nonsense we were talking about before about the Unite the Rally and talking about, him actually acting contempt, carrying out contempt of court. But child sexual abuse, I just don't like the politicization that we're doing right now.
The politicization of importing a class that is raping a generation of girls. The politicization of it.
Using a documentary about this, by the way.
It really is horrendous.
Is there
If you
a
are a
particular-
victim, you'll be knocked sideways by that.
Ava, is there a particular
This is all
ethnic group
class.
that you accept is majority responsible for the raping of underage women?
Well, Ben, let me sit back a little bit
Girls.
and answer that question, because I think that the lunacy of it to me is that any child sexual exploitation or abuse
Absolutely.
is heinous. And that's the starting block
We
of
all
where
agree
I
with
start.
Yeah, true. It's just most of it's happening because of Muslims that were imported into the country. Like again, they dance around the major point here.
But
Can I finish?
Yeah.
The one thing I would stress is the grooming gangs that did coagulate around Rochdale, around Manchester. I have investigated this and I've reported on this. There was not proper reporting of the perpetrators because there were, quote unquote, fears in the council that it would be perceived as racism.
That's
an issue at
institutional.
heart.
That
That's
is
an issue
actually-
at heart that we should tackle as a country. And I'm really glad, actually, for some of the very loud influencers online who have brought this to the forefront. That does not negate the white people in this
But-
country
no,
who
sure.
carry out child sexual abuse
Listen to how they squirm.
every single day. Do you know over 50% happens in people's own homes?
Absolutely.
That means 50% doesn't, right?
I get all of that, but you touched on a really
that's
important
beside the
point.
point.
You said institutions turn the blind eye because of
did.
fear.
They
That
did
is-
turn a blind
that is
eye. There it is.
institutionalized racism in this country against white people in favor of ethnic
No,
minorities.
because there's all
That
sorts
is
of
where
white
this
people
country has
carrying
gone
this
so
out
wrong.
every single day. But for some reason, Ben, you can't stomach it
No,
to
the
admit
police-
that actually there are a lot of white men carrying this out every single
Absolutely,
day.
I agree with that. But there is no institutional protection of white criminals. There is institutional protection.
There are white men getting
There
off
is-
every single
there
day
is-
for doing
there is-
this.
The police turned a
And
blind eye.
that's what we should be fighting about
The police
together.
turned a blind eye. You just said it yourself. Police turned a blind eye. Social services turned a blind eye. NHS turned a blind eye. And actually, I think it was either Gavin or Andrew said it earlier, we have a two-tier criminal justice system. We have a sentencing council that
don't have a
is...
two-tier
We have a
justice system.
sentencing
Ben,
council.
you just want to hyper-focus
We
on
have...
the racism
Can I
aspect
just
of
say,
it. You don't
we have
care
a
about
sentencing...
children. You
We
don't
have a
care about the
You don't care about children. You just care about not importing Muslims that are raping children.
rape of young children. You don't care. You care about politicizing race.
It's politicizing it, my guy. These people are evil. These people are fucking demons. They are.
You actually care about child sexual abuse.
nonsense.
You would talk about it as a homogenous issue and not simply about one race is doing this.
These people are so cucked. You see, I think she's actually retarded, not evil. I think Pierce is more bordering on evil in this regard. Like, there's no way you can be this fucking stupid. Like, I'll be real. I think leftists have groomed themselves to such an insane degree. They've mind raped themselves to the point that they refuse to acknowledge that not all cultures are actually the same, that some cultures are actually fucking evil. Comparatively speaking, some cultures are inferior. All right, they don't want to acknowledge it because they're like, well, everyone rapes kids. Every culture has some people that rape kids. True. But some institutionalize it, legalize it, and support it. You know in the Quran it says that not only Muhammad is the most moral man that ever lived, but he married a 6-year-old and raped her when she was 9. Hello? This is the person they're all emulating, and the proof is in the pudding. Every single Muslim country, they rape kids. I'm sorry, they marry kids. All right? Like, what are we even doing here? Like, we do not need to play this game. They still, today, modern day, take sex slaves in these countries, man. But we're not allowed to acknowledge that these cultures are actually inferior. Bro, they treat women like cattle. And we have leftist feminists that have mind raped themselves to the point that they have to sit here and make believe all cultures are the same. And, well, I'm against all child rape. You know what? Me too. But I feel like we could solve 90% of the gang rapes if we just stop importing Pakistani Muslims, for example. These people are such disingenuous fucks, it's crazy.
Muslims aren't a race.
So how do I get in trouble for using the word bitch, and she can say he doesn't care about child rape? Isn't that worse?
No, that's what you just
Because you
said.
literally accused all of us of endorsing it.
True.
That's why.
Because they do.
Because you hid the fact. You hid this. He's not hiding it. By hiding it, you're endorsing it. By hiding it, you're allowing it to happen more.
You become complicit.
And now you're focused on white rapists because you don't understand per capita.
I'm not focused on white rapists.
Britain
I'm
is
talking
all
about
class.
the issue,
The working
homogenous
class has
issue
had
of child
enough of
sexual
people
abuse
like
that you don't feel
The
comfortable
working class
enough
had enough of your accent and the way you ignore things because they're not fashionable. Sorry. I'm sorry that recognizing grooming gangs is not fashionable.
What?
What are you talking about, man?
I've just gone
I'm
on
talking about
grooming
you guys
gangs.
denying that we have a modern Islamic problem with child rape. That's what these rallies are about. You guys want to diffuse it and say, well, white males do it too, and let's ignore per capita.
That's not what I said.
You're playing it down.
That's not what I said
What?
at all. That's just not what I said.
You focusing on white males, you're trying to dilute the equation.
My point, which started all this, is that if you read Tommy Robinson's X feed, for
Oh my
example,
God,
you will never see anything about white males committing crimes. Why?
Because he's tackling a very major issue in the country. A very major issue, which is importing Islamic rapists into the country. Okay? That's a very major issue that he's focusing on. It's like, but why isn't he talking about bank robberies? I don't know, because that's not what he's focusing on.
Because he's focused
that's
on
not
a
the thing he's
specific
trying to
problem.
draw attention to.
Exactly, because he's focused.
And Pierce thinks that he wins this debate. He's like, got him. He's focusing on Muslims, so he's Islamophobic. Checkmate, liberals.
On Muslims.
And you're not.
24/7. Oh, I'm focused on everyone.
I'm focused on everyone. All rape bad. Wow, so brave.
And all crimes.
Okay, can you play back your
What I'm
segments on the
not is
grooming gangs of
devoting.
Rotherham?
I'm not
Can you
telling
show me
millions
your
of
piece
people
on-
every day
on the
that the
grooming
only
gangs
problem in this
Manchester?
country is the Muslims taking over, because it's bullshit. Anyway, we've got to leave it there. Will you be watching the rally, Gavin, on the weekend? Will you be
I'll
tuning
be there
in?
with bells on, just like I was at the last one, with the other 3 million people.
Right, yeah. Well, okay, why don't we count them when you're there? Because you'll find that
You can just look at the shot.
British people don't care about Islamic rape gangs, please.
You'll find you're 2,850,000 short. No, these are the police figures from the march.
Oh, the police figures. They wouldn't lie.
150,000
reliable.
maximum. But don't tell me.
Let's rely on the deep
they
state.
lie.
Let's rely on the police that have been covering up Islamic grooming gangs to talk about the correct numbers in the protests against the Islamic grooming gangs. Wow, fucking what a banger.
Let's
The
rely on
police
the elites,
lied.
the
Of course they would. Why would the police lie about a crowd number?
Why would the police that covered up Muslim rape gangs lie about the number of people protesting against the government covering up Muslim rape gangs? Let's think about that one.
Because the state hates Tommy Robinson. They've thrown him in jail 10 times for nothing.
Well, hang on.
They threw him
Speaking
in
of
jail
numbers-
for a
speaking
series of
numbers,
crimes.
We never did get those numbers.
Go look
We
up the
never, I'm just
crimes.
pointing that out. We never did get those numbers, speaking of numbers. We did ask for them many times, but I never actually got the numbers
Obviously
to
not.
demonstrate whether
Numbers
or not
are
there's
racist.
disproportionate criminality from Muslims
We
in the
will
UK,
get-
especially when it comes to sex crimes.
I will tell you
Just
this.
saying.
I will get those numbers,
Sure you
and we
will.
will talk about this again.
I love how he talks about it like it's like the hardest thing in the universe. He can't get these numbers. My guy, it's literally on the government website. This is a census that was actually taken, and this is by the government, and this is after the government cover-ups. 6.5%. 6.5% of the UK population, and that includes women, is 83% of the child gang rapes. My guy, what the fuck are you doing? So yes, I do think they're demonic. I do think it's evil. And I think that these leftists that are pushing this shit, they're either evil or they're retarded. Watching Piers Morgan, a guy in media for years, sit there and make believe he doesn't understand per capita for 10 minutes straight, while saying he actually cares about children, while he's endorsing the importation of infinite rapists, has got to be one of the most bone-chillingly evil things I've seen in a really fucking long time. You are the state. And it is wild watching people backstab Trump that he's not going hard enough when this is our messaging, and we got this fucker calling himself a gooner.
Mr. Speaker, I am a gooner.
Right? So quite literally, sorry, bro, but you guys are cooked. Now, Hassan Piker is getting absolutely flayed on the timeline. Another one of our favorite Islam extremist apologists actually sitting there and endorsing every form of Islamo-terrorism he could possibly think of. We got this dude denying that bad things happened on October 7th, right? Like, bro, they just released the full depravity of Hamas during October 7th right now. An investigation was actually done. Even Piers Morgan, who's defending Islamic grooming gangs in the UK, is sitting there talking about how it's horrific and worse than we ever knew. I don't think I could actually talk about what was revealed in this one article without getting demonetized. They were splitting people in half. Actually, evidence for them splitting people in half and passing them around and tearing them to shreds and shooting them in the genitals after assaulting them. And, you got Hassan Piker being like, wow, these guys are great. Women were stripped, bound, stabbed, shot, and burned. They were executed both during and after rape. Heads were decapitated, pelvic bones shattered. Even after death, the sexual assault continued. There's actual evidence of all this stuff by the UK media. All right, so, Hassan Piker out there, supporter of women, is getting destroyed by a woman. Colossal W. So Shuanhead just made a response because Hassan Piker, everyone's favorite largest leftist political streamer who endorses jihadi rape, all right, this guy's out there getting obliterated by everyone.
The other day, I made a video about the Pragmata video game drama.
That's right, we
and
covered
covered
that.
some insane opinions people were having about it. How the game activated some...
Oh boy. Activated some ovaries.
Fatherly instinct in some men.
And that.
And how people were calling
That
those
too.
men creepy incels for having...
Hassan Piker be like, it's creepy if you want a family, obviously. You know what's not creepy? Palestinian terrorists raping as many Jews as they can, because I'll deny it and support it, even if it did happen.
The basic human desire to start a family. A small part of that video was covering far-left Twitch streamer Hassan Piker's awful opinion about it.
I mean, to be fair, he does support rapist, pedophile terrorists. So, are we surprised that he also wants the white race to die off and not have children? Are we that surprised?
That segment in its entirety, so you have some context.
What's really interesting about this is all of these unfuckable losers in the gaming sphere always talk about starting families and stuff. And I don't understand why this has become a thing that they care about. If you're a gamer,
what do you care about having a family? Says dog shocking pedophile supporter Hassan Piker.
You should care about things that you actually experience. You should care about...
Which is why Hassan Piker shouldn't care about the Palestinian plight, because he's not in Palestine. Partially because Palestine is not a real place, but also partially because, he's a fucking terrorist supporter.
Things you actually enjoy, right? If you're a lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never have sex with a woman, why do you care? Why do you care about having children or
If you're not a Palestinian terrorist, why are you so mad when Palestinian terrorists get killed?
riding for having children? It's just not something that you're going to experience ever for your life, for the rest of your life, right? This is something that I never understand.
Wow, maybe there's a reason people are yearning to start a family and can't afford to have one and can't seem to find a partner. They feel alienated from their work and atomized from their community. If only there was a political commentator around to speak about all this.
Please.
Oh well.
I hope he shocks his dog. That makes him more relatable.
First of all, the only care about something if it affects you is extremely libertarian coded, and also very weird coming from a guy who understandably wants everybody to care about a genocide that is happening across the ocean. Second of all, what is this nihilistic horseshit? You never aspire for anything, never aim for greatness and meeting. And I love how he's like, unfuckable losers. Like, okay, congrats on the sex, bro.
Check literally pays for it.
Out this sex haver over here. I'm sure all those unfuckable losers could easily go to foreign brothels and pay for sex like you, Hassan. Also, 35? No kids? Sitting in his ugly ass $600 Gucci sweater. I swear I've never seen this guy in a fucking normal ass t-shirt. Sitting on his high horse, looking down at people for wanting something more out of life. I don't understand how someone could be so
left on left violence. It's what I live for. I live for it.
Mentally mind raped that this is their reaction to such like a simple, wholesome concept. That was 3 minutes of a 30-minute long video. I didn't think much of it, I just uploaded it and moved on. The next day, I woke up.
Any normal human being like, yeah, that was a bad take. I was just thinking about Asmongold. That's what Hassan Piker should have said if he was honest, but he's not. He makes believe he doesn't support terrorism, but he does. So he's not honest. We know that.
And my YouTube homepage was flooded with videos like Shoe on Head just ended Hassan. Shoe on Head destroys Hassan. Shoe on Head finishes on Hassan. Wait, what? I had no idea what was going on. And to my surprise, he actually responded back, which then prompted a bunch of new videos. Hassan just had his biggest meltdown. Hassan's biggest meltdown yet. It's true. Shoe on Head has completely mind-broken Hassan. His response to me couldn't be that bad. Right?
Bro, it's absolute cinema. I absolutely love how it turns out that the guy that supports Islamic terrorism and shocks his dog is just an incredibly deeply unlikable person. And he wonders why his career is dying. He's like, I have to start wearing suits now so people take me seriously. Maybe I could get the old mom fan base and get them horny. That's literally something he said. It's pretty heartbreaking. This dude out here trying to change America and spark a revolution. And he's just getting absolutely obliterated because he says gamers are unfuckable losers and he shocks his dog. It's like the most normie-ass person on the planet can't stand you, Hassan.
Bearable f***ing way to exist, dude. Oh, I'm getting all my politics from Shoe on Head. Ooh, look at me. I'm an emo girl. Ooh.
Oh my God, he's mad.
Ooh, look at me. 4chan guys who are now 38 years old want to fap to me. Why would you openly admit that you listen to Shoe on Head? What the f is wrong with you?
In this video, I'm going to show my raw reaction to his response, and throughout that will be sprinkled in like normal commentary. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I was really debating whether or not to do a response to his response. But
destroy the communist, terrorist, pedophile supporting retard dog abuser. Ruin him. End him. Bro, I'm just saying, Hassan Bad is kind of one of the things that I'm so proud to have kicked off on the internet.
Like, everyone else is covering this crash out, so why wouldn't I, the subject of said crash out, cover it myself? Like, there's—
Look, man, when Hassan Piker had his giant crash out on me and he screamed and yelled and he slandered the shit out of me and he called me a pedophile and he screamed that I'm getting blown up by Iranian missiles living in Tel Aviv, which is not true. But anyway, the dude slandered the shit out of me, had a giant crash out. I made like 2 videos on that, and it was awesome. All right, so I think that we should all be monetizing Hassan Piker's misery as much as possible until he gets deported. All right, think about it this way. All right, you want to make fun of Destiny? You will have so long to make fun of Destiny. That dude is going to be calling for the death of conservatives for a very long time. All right, so like, no rush. But like Hassan Piker, there's a time limit on this shit, man. All right, listen, I don't expect him to blow himself up, but I do think he'll get deported. So, like, we gotta move, man. We gotta go fast. Remigration is happening, all right? Wake up. Clock is ticking.
Currently a resolution in Congress to like disavow Hassan Piker, the same thing that they did to Nick Fuentes, disavowing private citizens for what they said on the internet. What are we doing here?
No. Make Hassan Piker's life a little bit worse. It's based, actually. Totally disagree. See, here's the thing. I think Hassan Piker needs to go to jail or get deported for his violent shit. His violent rhetoric, constantly calling for the death of senators and whatever. I wish Congress would actually do things instead of just condemn people from their high horse, but like, making Hassan Piker's life a little more awkward. Fuck yeah, dude.
Our government really have nothing better to do? Like, there is so much going on in the country right now, so much going on in the world right now. I feel like
we could be deporting Hassan. We don't need to kidnap him.
Decades worth of news happens like every week. Every day there is a breaking story of the most insane stuff you've ever heard in your life. Everyone is expected to have a fully formed...
It's honestly so real. Like the fraud that happens everywhere in the country. Did you know that there was just now a mayor in a city in California that pled guilty to being a Chinese spy? This happened yesterday, and already people forgot about it.
Opinion immediately. But the reality is, when a story first breaks, you're probably not seeing the full picture. And that's why for 5 years now, I have been using today's sponsor, Ground News.
Wow, that was a long one, man. Hassan Piker making all of his ops rich while screaming about communism.
So I thought it would be fun if someone joined me responding to this, because it is so ridiculous. I needed somebody to like bounce
off
with, because I felt like I needed some like emotional moral support, because I feel like I'm going insane watching this. So I am joined here today with the lovely Smug Alana, the VTuber, everyone's favorite Oshi.
Hey guys, I'm a JPEG and I would bow, but I can't, so just pretend I am doing it right now.
No, nice bounce.
Well, I mean, it'll get the views in, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, you were on the last Shoe on Head video. I will literally myself if you bring that shit up in here.
Let's fucking go! Some problems, solve them. Listen, I'm not endorsing Hassan Piker killing himself. That was the end of the sentence. Continue.
Okay. Why? What do you want me to do? Myself in the face.
Oh. Listen, Hassan, you're driving a hard bargain. You say it one more time, and I'll be convinced.
Not die in the process, but at least lose significant chunks of my brain so I can operate at the same substandard, suboptimal IQ level that Shoe on Head and her dumb audience operates in, so I can do a regular response to that? Is that what you want me to do?
Why?
Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna go that far, but now that that's on the I didn't know that was an option.
He's so mad.
Still has yet to bring
supports terrorists
up anything.
Nothing. 0 points. Like, 0 points addressed.
How many seconds in are we?
I basically made the same joke in my video about like giving myself brain damage so I could understand. Trying to follow the logic here. Let me just give myself some brain damage. Imagine being that chatter, like, hey, Hassan, did you check out this video? Do you want me?
Ooh, look at me. I'm an emo girl, and I change my politics all the time. Ooh.
Time out. Emo?
Bro just says words at this point, getting shit on by the entire left and the right. This is everything I've ever wanted. Retards fighting.
I'm gonna bring that up. No, hold on. For me, it's the wild way that he frames having nuanced opinions, like depending on.
I mean, to be fair, Hassan Piker is pro-imperialist Japan when they bombed Pearl Harbor, as I showed in my recent video, and he's also pro Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and he's also pro China's conquering and rape of the Tibetan people. But he hates America, so he's based.
The subject, like, God forbid you disagree with Hassan Piker, the arbiter of correct opinions of the internet.
I do not have that many videos. I have like 100 videos in the span of like a decade. You could go randomize and click on any of those videos and you wouldn't be able to tell if it was made today or 10 years ago. Which, honestly, I shouldn't be bragging about.
Not gonna lie.
Okay, my point is, I haven't changed that much.
I mean, she did think Bernie Sanders was like God's gift to humanity. All right, let's be real here.
And the things I have changed my mind about, I'm very open about. The way he's framing...
Yeah, she got married and had a child, and then all of a sudden became radicalized as shit and was like, hold up, we gotta arrest criminals. Hold on, we gotta talk about black fatigue. No, I'm kidding. But it's pretty crazy how getting married and having a child radicalizes the shit out of your average leftoid.
People changing their...
I wonder if that's why Hassan doesn't want people to have children, because having children is the ultimate radicalizing factor in your life. All of a sudden you want to arrest criminals and you're not a fan of terrorism anymore.
Minds changing their political opinions over time as like a bad thing is bizarre, especially as a guy whose goal is, I assume, to change people's mind politically.
No, his goal is global jihad. You have it wrong.
totally for people changing their minds politically, but only when they change their mind to agree with him. He
Correct.
supports people changing their mind as new information presents itself. He supports iDubbbz apologizing for the crime of being funny 5 years ago. But when it comes to me changing my mind on like 3 things over the course of a decade, that's bad. Like,
But
yes,
yeah, because you're not pro-jihad. People call me Islamophobic for being like every single Islamic-based commentator is pro-jihad. All right, Mehdi Hassan Piker, Cenk Younger, every single one of them fucking supports the Islamic rape of England. All right, every single one of them supports, Hamas. Like, you're gonna sit here and call me Islamophobic? Show me one Muslim commentator that doesn't support Islamic terrorism. Challenge impossible.
I've changed on a few things, obviously. From the ages 23 to 35, yes, your opinions are gonna change a little sometimes.
No way, really?
Like, you probably don't believe the same things you believed like 10 years ago.
Probably did. Probably supported terrorism then, probably supports terrorism now.
No, absolutely not. Well, I think in that video that you talked about, I don't know, I remember like a couple of months ago, you were like, I had a baby and then I lived in the city and then I was like, man, maybe safety and putting money into the police isn't that bad, you guys. And maybe that was different.
Nothing will radicalize a woman like a child. All of a sudden, you're pro-gun. All of a sudden, you want a strong man to protect you. All of a sudden, you don't want criminals to get out of jail. It's so weird how that happens.
When you were like 20 or 25.
Right, exactly. Like, when I was living in like sheltered suburbs, I was like, hey,
Exactly.
F the police. And then you live, and then you're an adult with a child, and you live in the city, and it's like, oh, actually, no, we need more police.
Never mind.
I just confuse terminally left-right brained people. I always have. Hyperpartisan people absolutely hate me because they can't just like put me into a neat little box and then smash that box with a hammer. Hassan usually can hand wave away critics like, oh, they're just an Israel shill, they're just a Zionist. He can't do that with me. He hand wave.
Bro did that with me. He did that with me. He said that I'm getting funded by the Israeli government. Listen, Israeli government, if you're watching this video, I could use a couple of shekels. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, no, absolutely not.
Waves them away by calling them neocons or neoliberals. He can't do that with me. Alt-right incels. He can't do that with me. So what does he do? He malfunctions and starts calling me emo.
Hey, he threatened to kill himself, which you should never threaten me with a good time, Hassan Porker.
Like, okay, man, you got me. Emo is when eyeliner, I guess. In the hyper-partisan mind, it is completely impossible to hold several non-contradictory opinions at the same time. Like, wanting free healthcare, but also wanting a strong border. Like, to me—
You see, I think that you're retarded for wanting free healthcare because every single country with free healthcare is absolutely shit because free healthcare isn't actually free. It just means we take your tax dollars and we distribute it into the healthcare system in order to make the entire thing worse because everything subsidized by the government works badly. So free healthcare, yeah, it's definitely a shitty opinion. Don't get me. It's definitely a bad opinion. But hey, no, that's just me. No one's perfect. I acknowledge that. But anyway, that's not the topic. Let's talk about a terrorist supporter getting raped.
me, those aren't contradictory whatsoever. In fact, that works.
No, they're absolutely not contradictory opinions at all. One's just wrong.
Together, you don't want to override your healthcare system, right? Your focus should be American citizens. Like, in their mind, like, Denmark doesn't exist, right? They think, like, oh, if you think unions are important, you must also be for minors having HRT. Like, no. If you believe in public transportation, you also have to believe in abolishing prisons. Like, no. Sorry, no.
Yeah, who's paying for that? Who's paying for the public transportation, though? Your tax dollars?
I don't know how much.
I personally think that private money is so much more effective than when it goes to the government. It ends up in Somalia. Right? Listen, you shit on like the Iran war, okay? And then you be like, I don't want my money going to the Iran war. Bro, that's where your money's going, whether you like it or not. Right? It's going to the Iran war. It's going to all the public shit. It's going to every scammer that's trying to defraud the government. It's going to Somali terrorists. All right. Well, ultimately, I don't trust the government with my money. I would way prefer if I was taxed way less, maybe let's say 10% taxes instead of what it is now, which is absolutely astronomical. And it goes to shit I don't support. I don't want to be funding abortion clinics, actually. Not a fan of the genocide of a third of a generation of children every year. Not a fan of Gavin Newsom becoming a billionaire and all these other fucking retards in Congress becoming giga rich all of a sudden magically. I don't want to be funding gay tap dancing in Venezuela. And I don't want to be funding underwater butt fucking in Afghanistan. But hey, I don't get a say in any of that shit. So yeah, no, absolutely. Tax me at 10%. Let me keep 90% and I'll be able to afford my own healthcare. Anyway, but that's not the point now. We need to talk about dog shockers getting obliterated.
My ideology is confusing. I don't know how they see that as like...
Yeah, no, but she has the right to this stance, I guess. I'm not saying that she doesn't. And this isn't hypocritical. Just wrong. But that's okay.
Flopping or being a grifter. When to me, it's like...
Even better when it's left on left violence, to be honest.
Completely normal, common sense stuff. Like, you can't have a country in decay like this. You can't. It will not be fixed by people like Hassan telling young men not to aspire for anything.
Oh, telling young men to murder politicians you don't like? What about that?
And saying stupid shit like telling people it's cool to steal.
Would you steal from Whole Foods?
I'm pro stealing from big corporations.
I am, here we go. We import people who do not believe in thou shalt not steal. And we're supposed to make believe that they're going to assimilate properly into our culture.
Like, what in the fucking LARP is that? Yeah, stealing is so cool, dude. Let's just steal from big corporations so those big corporations move out of that community. And then that community turns into a crime-ridden, unsafe shithole ghost town. And a food desert. Like, yeah, bro, you're really fighting the man. Listen, you can tell people that
I mean, let's be honest, though. If you're preaching communism and socialism and shit, that's just the government stealing from you to fund whatever fuck-all shitbag they want to fund. All right, stealing from big corporations or the government stealing from you. I mean, it's pretty consistent if you think about it. Sorry, I hate socialism, man. It's so toxic.
Billionaires are the real enemy until you are blue in the face, and it might be true, but Jeff Bezos isn't the one stabbing them on a train, you know? You can't have a peaceful, functioning, socialist, or even social democratic society with the delusional...
Period. You cannot have a peaceful socialist or social democratic society, period. That's the end of the sentence.
Social policies of Hassan Piker. You just can't. Anyway, sorry, I'm going on a tangent. It's just so funny he sees my politics as, like, incoherent, when to me, his politics are the ones that are incoherent. The video-
He's very coherent. He wants the destruction of the United States of America, and every single one of his policies actually promotes that. He supports stealing from stores because he wants the destruction of the United States of America. He wants the murder of politicians he doesn't like because he wants the destruction of the United States of America. He supports the murder of random Israelis in Washington, D.C. because he hates the United States of America. And he hates the biblical foundation and actual ethical system of our country built over years. He hates it. He wants to destroy it. He supports every single one of our adversaries. He supported Maduro against the United States. He supports Iran right now against the United States. He supports China against the United States. His politics are actually incredibly coherent if you actually pay attention. His politics are actually, he fucking hates Western civilization and he wants us to die. He supports every Islamic terrorist organization on the planet. Not a single time has he refused from endorsing Hezbollah or the Houthis or Hamas. He's incredibly consistent. You're just looking at the wrong criteria.
Video was barely political. My response to him was about his, like, nihilistic mindset when it comes to young men. Because for years, we had to watch the media shove this guy down our throat like he was the Joe Rogan of the left. Oh, he was gonna save young men from-
God, I love when he pisses off the normies.
The alt-right pipeline. By the way, this guy is never going to be the Joe Rogan of the left because, like, Joe Rogan, at least Joe Rogan from years ago, I don't know about now, was all about listening to other people's beliefs and hearing other people's opinions. Hassan does not do that. Hassan closes his ears and goes, la la la, I can't hear you, you're stupid, I'm smart. For years, we had to listen to how this guy is gonna push young men away from the GOP. They are leaving the GOP, but they're not going to the Democrats, and I don't know if they're going to the left either. But anyway, my video was not political.
Wake up, sheeple! We are getting a far-right nationalist in the government soon. Maybe not this next election cycle, but it'll happen.
In fact, the only part that, like, was political was the part where I agree with Hassan about the genocide in Gaza.
If you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience.
Very weird coming from a guy who understandably wants everybody to care about a genocide that is happening across the ocean.
My point
Well, it's nice that they agree about the pretendicide, but it is pretty wild watching Hassan say that you should not have children and you shouldn't even want children because you play video games.
There was, you can't be telling young men to only care about things that directly affect them and then make it your life mission to tell those same-
You called him out on his hypocrisy, which is based, because he needs to be humiliated in public as much as possible.
Young men to care about things that don't directly affect them.
Do you want me to lose chunks of my brain? Do you
that was an option?
Want me to John Fetterman myself so I can understand the compelling argument that
Didn't he have a brain tumor?
Chew-on head makes, one that should have been left in the dustbin of history all the way back in 2016.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to Hassan Piker because I don't care about the opinions of online prostitutes.
Things from 2016 aren't still here today that are good.
Literally, technically, I mean, I'll put my stats on the screen. I am literally more relevant today than 2016.
Yes.
Like, more people...
Honestly, Same. Hassan hates it, but honestly, same.
Are watching, because so these aren't opinions from 2016. These are opinions from now, Hassan. People disagree with you now.
Look at me as an emo girl. 4chan guys who are now 38 years old want to fap to me.
Bro, this dude literally, his girlfriend was a whore, an OnlyFans whore. And he's out here insulting this. Bro, you are the cuckest cuck ever to be found.
Wait, 4chan guys want to fap to me? Wait, I thought it was super cool and progressive to have like an army of men who simp for you online. That's not very woke of you, Hassan.
First of all, I like how he used the word fap.
That's so old, isn't it? It's like gooning now.
Yes,
Come
it's
on.
gooning. Come on. Come on, get with the times. It should have been left in 2016, Hassan. Come on.
Hassan Piker trying to upstage the Prime Minister of Britain right now.
Mr. Speaker, I am a gooner, and so, as usual, she is less.
Yeah, I am a gooner.
If this was said by anyone else, he would be calling it misogynistic and sexist. But it's
which, I mean, it kind of is. Thinking that a woman look, I am super pro misogyny. Don't get me. That was a joke. That was a joke. But that actually is fucking horrible. I am a woman saying a thing online. People only listen to you because I want to fap to you. That's fucking gross, man. It really is.
It's being said by someone with the hive mind approved opinion, so it's okay. It's called dark woke, chud. We decided to become more hypocritical and annoying. You wouldn't get it. If I was getting paid for men to fap to me like many of his friends and ex-girlfriend Sar do for a living, that would be fine. He would support it.
Bro, a cuck. For real, for real.
Since I don't do that and I'm just like a normal YouTuber, it's a way to insult and degrade me. It is interesting though how Hassan uses unfuckable as an insult to hurl towards men and fuckable as an insult to hurl towards women. I think it was Bell Hooks that once argued that patriarchy—
It's because he doesn't actually believe in anything.
He harms men by reducing their worth to status and conquest, while women are harmed by being reduced to only their desirability and being conquered. You should not be getting feminism mogged by someone who does not call themselves a feminist, Hassan.
That's bad, bro.
Not a good look, buddy. And also, bro, you thirst trap—
But he doesn't really care, because his audience are like revolutionary communists and terrorists. He doesn't actually fucking care about being regarded as a feminist icon.
More than I ever have in my entire life. You are on the cover of JQ.
GQ?
You are on the cover of GQ.
Awkward. We know where your mind's at.
Hot tub. I will put the picture up there as censored as I can,
Yeah.
just to shield everyone's eyes.
Like a little rubber ducky on his pee-pee.
You are spread eagle in a magazine. Let me read this to you. Let me read what this journalist said. Are you ready for this? Here's how Hassan Piker starts each day, working out, shooting the shit.
So they are trying so hard to make this like dog-shocking terrorist supporter loved. It's really not working, man. It's really bad.
It's Monday.
You are making leftists leave the left. I don't know, there's this like woke guy, Sam Harris. He literally just made an entire video being like, the left is pushing Hassan Piker and I am not a Democrat anymore. It's just like, fuck yeah, dude. Thank you, man. Thank you.
And we're in the backyard of a house in West Hollywood where there's a makeshift private gym with benches, pull-down machines, and dumbbells galore. This is where 34-year-old political influencer keeps his thirsted after body fit.
What? By the way, written by a male, too. And I'm just like, I would have thought it was, yes, I'm pretty sure.
He strips his shirt off. An army of girls and gays
Bro.
would to be where I am now, next to Piker as he pants in a pair of neon shorts with black Calvin Klein boxers poking out.
The socialist, by the way.
Sunlight
That's
glistening
right.
off the sweat beading on his
They are
chest.
trying so
when it's women
hard,
and gays
bro.
thirsting after you, then it's a good thing. But God forbid straight men find you attractive. This is the dude that has to keep his girlfriend a secret like some kind of K-pop star so he can like be e-boyfriend for his parasocial female fans. I'm always talking about being married, like when I'm in a relationship, I'm talking about being in a relationship, whatever. I'm the whore, not the one playing e-boyfriend.
You're covered up. You can make the argument with me. When people say like, oh well, she's just a pair of anime tits on the screen. Okay, fair point. However, Shu doesn't even
Sorry,
like
not
have
true.
anything that she wears in her YouTube videos that are like revealing. Like she's very moderate.
People, wait, hold on, sorry. My dad is calling. Wait.
Dad,
we know exactly. She's not a whore. Gets called by her dad. What could this mean? What could this mean? Every single freaking time, man. Women, you need dads.
Put me on the phone with him. Hey, we're busy. The left in a MAGA body, bro. That always.
No, I love that title, A Progressive Mind in a MAGA Body. They called him that, basically admitting that like leftists are like unfuckable losers, as Hassan would call them. They're like all these like amorphous globs, right? So they're like, oh, but this one's attractive at least. Yeah, he supports jihad.
Stuck with me.
A progressive mind and a MAGA body. What did they even mean by that?
Being attractive.
Well, basically what they were saying is that being attractive is a right-wing trait because leftists are unfuckable losers.
And eating healthy and working out is right wing. What the f are we smoking?
For like a good 3 years, there was this really weird campaign to make Hassan Piker like the face of progressive masculinity.
And then all the leftists left the left because these guys are fucking terror supporters.
In a bizarre attempt to move men
I
to
love watching this entire house of cards crumble.
the left. A progressive in a MAGA body, they said, which like, what the f did they mean by that? Hey guys, we're not all ugly, dysgenic freaks. Look, there's one of us who's attractive. What? Mr. Piker's success on camera, in some part, has been aided by the fact that he is, by conventional standards, a very handsome man. He is 6 feet 4 inches tall and built like a professional athlete. A square jaw, a beard, and a head of thick dark hair. It's the one aspect many of my haters can't shake, Mr. Piker said of his appearance in a Twitch broadcast last year. They can't turn around and be like, you're not hot. Indeed, tens of thousands of viewers may watch his videos for his political views, but many also tune in for their view of Mr. Piker himself, whose social media profiles are littered with suggestive images of his muscly body in states of undress, or thirst traps, as the pictures are known. Some of his fans scrape, screenshot, clip, and repackage them into fan cams that travel across the internet, glorifying Mr. Piker's appearance and indirectly his beliefs. That is yet again another mainstream article saying one of the only reasons people watch Hassan is because he's attractive, and that he uses his appearance and thirst traps to gain a following. So is he like projecting onto me? Is that what this is? Is he like
Is he a man whore? No, he just wanted to degrade you, and that's the only thing he thought of. Look, man, you are dealing with a inbred sub 90 IQ terrorist supporting dipshit. He is not the Aristotle of the modern era. He just literally tried to come up with as many insults as he possibly could in a short amount of time, including, do you want me to kill myself? Which, again, is getting more and more funny to entertain every single moment.
Insecure about his thirst traps and his reputation of being nothing but eye candy. And listen, I'm not delusional.
Like, dude, this guy was trying to push the hoax a little bit ago that Israelis are training dogs to rape Palestinians. And if you believe that, you failed an IQ test along the way. I'm not gonna lie. All right, like, this is what you're dealing with, bro.
Okay. Obviously, your looks can help take you further in life, online and offline. Like, if I was morbidly obese or hideously ugly, I probably wouldn't have, like, half the following I have. You can easily say the same thing for Hassan. But at least I organically collected my simps and didn't have some, like, astroturfed glaze fest propping me up for years as some kind of, like, political sex symbol. Embarrassing.
Guys who are now 38 years old want to
he's still going?
To me.
38. You mean 3 years older than us, Hassan?
Yeah. Oh my god, the people that are in my demographic.
And what's so funny is like his little fangirls were coming at me
I mean, this dude is literally going out there trying to make porn for old women. He literally said that. Hold on, let me see if I can find this clip because this is insane. Here, I'll just let's keep going. Hold on.
Twitter, like, you're nearly 40 and you dress like a Hot Topic cashier. Like, and Hassan and I are the exact same age. I think we're a month apart in age. And like, look how he dresses. We are literally co-workers at the Hot Topic, okay?
People like Shoe on Head are basically a humanoid.
Dude, I am so good. I have a lot of people don't know this. I actually submitted a whole metric fuck ton of Hassan shit to the Department of Justice. Okay, maybe I should say this out loud to a contact I might know in the government. To basically, be like, hey, this guy's a terrorist supporter. Deport. Anyway, so this was literally him.
Why are you always in a suit? I'm a suit guy now. This is it. I'm in my suit era.
Why, bro? Why are you in your suit era, bro?
I think we already.
Why?
I think we already established that. Part of the reason why is because.
All right, let's go.
Part of the reason why I'm in a suit all the time is because.
Get ready.
You know, moms and dads are watching. 2 reasons. 1, it makes my head look bigger.
All right, insecure about his small head, understandable.
Number 2, a lot of conservatives come in here to watch lately to see what's going on. And as a chatter correctly pointed,
You know, they want to check out who is this guy that is teaching our children to slaughter the infidels.
to wearing a suit, basically like lingerie for old conservative ladies. Yeah, they love that shit. Gets them horny. And in their horny moment, they just are a lot more receptive to what I have to say. This is how we spark the revolution, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so he literally admitted that the reason why he's wearing suits is because he's trying to make old conservative women horny. All right, like every accusation is like an admission with this guy.
Version of a f***ing Reddit aggregator.
Reddit hates me.
Literally 80% of his audience are f***ing Redditors. Are we f***ing for real right now?
Bro is loved on Reddit. Like, why didn't he say 4chan or Twitter? He's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like, he can't even banter or do the jokes correctly.
Unironically, I think this entire rant, this clip, just sounds like if you were just to post the question, what do you think of Shoe on Head on r/politics, and then read the comment section?
Yes.
It's just angry Reddit-coded malding. You want to know the worst part? This is the best thing you could come up with. This is the best you could do.
Jesus Christ. What an unbearable f***ing way to exist, dude. Oh, I'm getting all my politics from Shoe on Head. If you're getting your politics from a person...
Bro, we're watching her make fun of you, and it's effective because it's working, and now you're melting out, and now we're watching her make fun of you again. Understand what this is, okay? Understand your role, cockroach.
Like Shoe on Head, you should be embarrassed.
What do you mean, get your politics from Shoe on Head? I don't expect my audience to...
I watch Shoe on Head, and she's a socialist. All right, understand. I make fun of her politics because she's a socialist, which is cringe as fuck. But don't get me wrong. I think she's entertaining, and I think she's a person that actually thinks for herself, which is lovely. Don't get me wrong. And she's going to end up going off, stop being a socialist at some point. You'll see.
To get their politics from me. I expect them to be entertained, to laugh, to think, to engage with the discourse.
I don't expect everyone to agree with everything I say. I just expect to radicalize as many people as they can. I am the far-right rabbit hole.
And I don't try to, like, pass off.
I am a Bible supremacist. I believe in Old Testament justice, and a lot of people don't like that. They don't have to, actually. I'm not going to change my opinion. I like to think of myself as an entertaining fellow. People like my videos, and I am grateful to God that my audience is, honestly, very fucking funny. I love you guys. Anyway, back to talking about terrorists.
Off as someone you should get your politics from. I don't think my audience should get their politics from me or any YouTuber for that matter. I think they should do their own research, come to their own conclusions. I just say my opinions and people are free to agree or disagree. Hassan, on the other hand, like, really thinks he's some serious political commentator. Bro, you're a Twitch streamer.
True.
I'm a YouTuber.
True.
But that's the difference between you and I.
We're not that
I know
important.
what I am.
We're not important.
Oh my God, the things I want to say to people like this.
Then say it.
Say it, pussy.
Pussy.
Did he change into a suit because I made fun of his Gucci shirt?
Like, you can literally see him scanning his chat of domestic terrorists, like Redditor for insults, right?
This is so lazy.
I find it more compelling when someone deconstructs why you're being stupid. I swear, I think if he had an audience that thought it was okay, he would obviously bring up that you're a girl. Stupid woman. It's like he's fighting his bro, like, instincts.
He's reverting back to bro tips, Hassan Piker.
Yeah.
This week's bro tip is about bringing out the alpha male in you. This is a classic example of what happens when your father doesn't pay attention to you. You turn out to be a slut who's craving for attention, and then I tend to pick you up at a bar late night and bang you out on the first date.
All his insults I've already 8-miled him on, because I've already made fun of the fact that my eyeliner is from 2008. I'm in no position to talk about style. I still do my makeup like it's 2009. I already made fun of the fact that you shouldn't get your politics from me. If you were going to Shoe on Head for political information, you are deep fried.
He never self-insults. Like, you can make jokes about yourself. Like, I've joked about a million times, like, oh, I'm a 400-pound man behind an avatar. Like, it's funny. Like, who gives a f? I feel like
Hassan gives lots of fucks. I mean, he pays for the women to receive the fucks he gives, but he does give them.
takes himself.
I mean, he does go to Diddy parties. I don't want to know what he does there.
Way too seriously. The most popular streamers, every single one that I can name that are at the top with Twitch with Hassan, every single one of them at least like makes jokes about their appearance. Asmon talks about how he's bald and doesn't have any teeth. He leaves himself so exposed to being made fun of, and then he wonders why everybody makes fun of him. Like, just join in. It's part of being a human being.
I love how people are like trying to help him, but they can't because he is a ball of pride, ego, and evil.
Honestly, good luck, dude.
Thank you, Hassan.
Thanks.
You know this bro obliterated his pet dog that night.
Wait, Crash, now you like to wipe the drool off his mouth.
Should
he's like frothing.
Frothing at the mouth like a bulldog.
All right, so then we got one of these Hassan orbiters. So a former booby streamer. This is Casey Tron.
Oh my god, I cannot stand this girl.
Oh, she also crashed out on me. Wait, did his entire audience, like his entire orbit, have like gigantic Nux crash outs?
This shoe on head girl, pick me woman.
Shoe on head and her dumb.
She's literally married with a child.
Audience.
Her dumb audience of incels. Like, I don't know. It's like
she's like reacting to Hassan and just repeating everything he says, and he's like, "Yeah, fucking incels."
shoe on head. If you like care so much about these incels, go one.
This is such a self-report for being a retarded whore. Like, I love the implication too that like Casey Tron thinks the only way you can truly care about men is if you have sex with them. Does this thought process just come free with not having a father figure? Do I have to have unresolved
trying to fill the dad-shaped hole in her heart with a Hassan Pecker?
Daddy issues to comprehend this?
Is that problematic for me to say?
No, it's just retarded.
Bro.
Like, prove you care so much about these incels and their inability to get sex. Go one. Oh wait, you won't?
What even are we
because you're
doing
just
here?
grifting to them? Like, you don't even-
I love how leftists are just the most insufferable humans of all time, and then they just expect everyone to follow along with their charade. Why is everyone becoming right-wing? Well, I don't know. We're getting introduced to leftists.
even want to get with them either.
Nothing will radicalize you to the right, like meeting a leftist.
But you'll condemn other women for not wanting to who you don't want to Okay.
Bro, they think the far-right rabbit hole starts with me. No, it starts with these guys.
When did I ever condemn women for not wanting to people? What is it? Hat on foot again. Hat on foot making YouTube videos from Earth 2 about how women owe men sex. What
She's
the
really
fuck is
fantasizing.
Why is everything sex with these people too? Like everything is sex. You talk
because
about
they're whores. Why do they call their parades pride parades? I don't know, man. I don't know. Why does wokeism basically end up as some sort of amalgamation of the 7 deadly sins?
The human
you got these wrathful, angry-ass motherfucking people, prideful, they envy everyone, they're greedy for their money, they want communism, they're gluttonous, they're fat-phobic, they support the fat acceptance movement where people eat themselves to death. All right, let's be real here.
Desire to like create a family and have a legacy, and they're like, sorry, you can't get laid, incel. Sorry, you can't get pussy.
Says the chick that sits in her room all day and smokes weed until she's numb.
People. I know. Are you being serious? Dog, what are you?
If you look up,
is that her reacting to Hassan being a terrorist?
The dangers of smoking marijuana in like a Kids Dare pamphlet, there's just a picture of Casey Tron's face.
You're happily married and have a child, but because some fat retard on Twitter thinks you're a grifter, you're gonna need to a bunch of random men to prove them wrong. What do you just have to do? Like a weekly raffle? Pull a random inside of how do you verify that one of your people
number
are
20?
Yeah.
I stand by what I
The funniest thing is that incel is involuntarily celibate, bro.
said. Shoe on head should be thank you.
People don't even know what words mean. Again, that's the left. They don't know what words mean.
Me for giving her and her incel following. Say it again, award. Said it again.
I mean, bro, are we surprised? These people have like little vernaculars crammed in their comatose, weeded out brains, trying their best to string words together to virtue signal. That's their entire political career.
Hell, it's like a parrot, man.
What? Incel.
You know Jafar from Disney.
Hassan is Jafar, and like, she's sitting on there, she's like, incel. And he's like, good girl, yes, give it her a cracker.
Yeah, here's your cracker.
So once again, people in his chat bought up my video. He has not responded to it. He has not made a single point.
He's wearing a different suit. This was a different stream. He had a multi-day meltdown over this. Oh, that's cinema.
called me emo, called me irrelevant, you know, but he didn't call me wrong. Notice that.
They never call you wrong.
They call you emo, but they'll never call you wrong.
Did you see what Shuan had responded on Twitter? No. Also,
what is that pause?
What? Who cares?
Pauses for 20 seconds. Oh, who cares?
Dude, that laugh is killing me.
Who cares? Bro, the fake laugh. What is going on?
What are you guys talking about, man?
What are you guys talking about?
Bro, I'm literally over here talking about how I'm doing a rally with someone who's running in Philadelphia.
I'm out here doing the revolution, okay? Like, that's cute, Hassan. That's adorable.
He's not a politician, man. The majority of the people that know your name only ever heard of you because you electrocuted your dog live on stream.
Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
Does he not understand that 95% of his fan base are terminally online Redditors? Like, they don't give a fuck about your rally, bro, in the background over here. They want you to call Shuan Head a Nazi to validate their hatred and their feelings.
Whatever the Shuan had said.
It's the laugh again! No, you're joking.
Bad,
stop.
Hassan is pissed because, like, he's finally out doing something in the real world, and the only thing people care about, the only thing people are talking
right,
about
baby.
in regards to him online right now.
Listen, man, you could go to infinite political rallies arguing about the pretendicide in Palestine. You can do what you want. You can go out there. You can make movements. You can get all of your, domestic terrorist fans super excited about whatever the fuck they do. Burn down synagogues? I don't know what they do for fun. You can get all those guys excited about supporting the next Luigi Mangione. But you electrocute one dog and you will always be the dog, shocker.
Now is this. And you know what? To be like completely fair, which is something these people would never do for me, this was a better response than his first response. He's basically just like, I don't care, I'm busy doing like real things in the real world. Okay, fair enough, understandable,
Please.
have a nice day. But then
Bro was out there sabotaging the entire Democratic Party just for me, just for content for me, and I appreciate it.
Then he says this.
Talk to me when we got the wiki feed ratings up for Shuan Head. Okay, what's their wiki feed looking like?
What the fuck? How is this a real person? This is the leftist messiah, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, what's their
What is going on? Did I listen to what that woman said? No, absolutely not. Let me know if I can see her feet, though.
What?
Honestly, it would be Giga Chat if it came
very
from
woke of you.
anyone funny or likable.
Like, if the chatter...
Bro, you know what's honestly hilarious? Homelander is like 1,000 times more likable than Hassan Piker.
Even bring it up. Why did you bring up WikiFeed?
I know. By the way, if you guys don't know, WikiFeed is a website where people upload pictures of like celebrities' feet. Let's look up Hassan's foot.
Oh my, no way. He's got his bare tootsies online.
Wait! I have a higher feet score than Hassan. Is this what this is about?
He's mad.
It's over.
He's been foot-mogged.
By the way, never addressed anything you said. Never even attempted to refute a point you made. Just starts going on about like WikiFeed.
That's what he does to everyone. All right, his response to my video was saying, he gets paid by Israel and he's a pedophile. All lies. Literally all lies. Never need to engage with anything. And that's how he operates every time.
If I sold feet pics...
Definitely someone who's confident in his opinions and the things he says.
If I sold pictures of my feet, would he...
By the way, I challenged him to a debate and he decided... And that's when he stopped replying to me. Just letting you all know that this dude's a coward.
Use this as an insult. No, because he's Mr. Sex Positive, Mr. Sex Work is Real Work, Mr. Brothel Boy.
Work, yeah, I'm making a difference on my shoe and her stupid video. Also, did you know she's stupid?
She's stupid. Don't go watch the video. Don't go watch it, guys. She's stupid.
Check her feet score instead.
Also, her feet are kind of nice looking.
The craziest part about all of this was after his crash out and like after everyone was making fun of him, he gets on Twitter and he's like, I've yet to watch any of her content. Excuse me? So what the f are you basing all of this on? How am I stupid? How do I change my politics? How am I just an emo girl that men fap to? Either A, he's lying and he has seen my content, or B, he's just blindly repeating things he's seen other people say about me.
No, he's lying. Of course he's lying.
Either way, it's pathetic. He's stuck between, like, wanting to be above it all. Ugh, I don't even know who that is. I'm out here doing the revolution. And wanting to tear
Anyway, I want to see her feet.
me down. But he can't do both. So as it stands right now, what he's saying is that he has literally never heard me speak. He just looked at me and went, "Woman online must be a whore." Which honestly, not a bad guess.
I mean, to be fair,
People should be.
to be fair, unsolicited opinions from online prostitutes has got to be one of the greatest ever callouts of all time. I'll be real here. I immediately put that shit in the do not give a fuck about your opinion box the moment I'll be honest.
More
One of the rare non-whore onlines with a child has different political opinions than Hassan Piker. Who would have thought?
embarrassed, okay? What happened to shame?
Oh, wait. I find it incredible.
What happened to shame, says the guy who took pictures in a bubble bath.
Incredibly ironic that the guy who used chain lightning on his dog live on stream in front of thousands of people and then lied about
1,000 volts into the dome of Kaya.
it and gaslit everybody, thinks that anyone else needs to be embarrassed about anything. Like, you've spent your entire f***ing career, the better part of a decade plus, being a political commentator, but the only thing that the majority of the internet knows you for is f***ing zapping your dog for stepping off its 4 square foot cot that you've designated for it. That's your f***ing legacy, Hassan.
Shot my dog, I can't stop, yeah.
Like,
That's right,
obviously,
though.
he
True.
watched the video and something in it really had him rattled. Like, was it the brothel thing? Was it the clock meme? Because if it was the clock meme, that was a joke, okay? We're the same age, Hassan. It is not too late.
Except you have a child, and he's gonna die alone. Alone and miserable, probably deported.
This is all not that serious. I just thought it was really funny and everybody was asking for a response video. So there.
I think it's very serious. We must seriously make an effort making fun of as many terrorist pedophile supporters as we possibly can. No, I think it's actually important. I think publicly shaming and humiliating retards that are trying to destroy America is awesome, actually.
Here's your response video. I also just want to make it clear that if he responds, I will not be responding back unless it's something absolutely insane that requires a response. I refuse
Respect.
to get caught in the Hassan Piker content loop.
That's me! I'm the Hassan Piker content loop. Because I hate terrorists, and he loves them, so we don't get along.
We'll leave that to the professional Hassan Piker farmers.
That's
there are
me.
people who have
That's
made
me.
diabolical wealth off of farming this guy, okay? I am but
that
a
was a good
humble culture
reference.
war farmer. I'm but a humble gender war farmer. And my crops are dying.
Respect.
I must get back to them. They're calling him the corniest man alive. The final boss of performative male feminism.
Bro is literally Brian Griffin from Family Guy.
The human Brian Griffin. This is like when like a hot girl has like a video game controller and she's like licking it. She's like,
Yes, or like with the cat ears, the little
Yes.
headset with the cat ears. I
this
love
is
that there's not just one picture, it's 2 in different shots.
No, of course. There's one of him making believe he could read, and then there's the other one of him thoughtfully looking out of the window, thinking about the complexities of how he could violently have some sort of revolution where he kills as many right-wing people as he can.
So like, it's like, dude, can you just take a picture of me like holding it and then like putting it down on
and
my
like
lap,
solemnly
like I'm done reading
looking
it?
out the window.
My dog is literally just sitting next to me, staring at me. He knows I'm talking about Hassan. He knows, Kaya, I will save you.
Okay, Alana, thank you.
From the fridge to the tree, Kaya will be free.
You for joining me. You made it less painful to watch this shit, okay? I'm glad you were with me for this. Plug your stuff for everybody watching.
Follow me on Twitter, on Smugalana. Follow me on Twitch. I go live 5 days a week. Join my Discord. Lots of really nice people to hang out in there. Absolute pleasure, Kami Mommy. Emo girl with the feet.
Yes.
That's
If you like this video, please subscribe and
brutal. Man, I love watching leftists eat their own. It's my favorite thing ever. God, making fun of communist terrorist supporters has got to be one of my favorite things ever. I'm really out here making a living, doing what I love. So grateful, so grateful. Anyway, everything is going to be linked in the description, of course, to everything I reacted to, everything I looked at in this video, all the resources and stuff. Thank you for support. Everyone, I really appreciate you immensely. You know, I've been working really hard, making some banger content lately. Look. I did. I know I did. It's a fact. I did. You don't need to glaze me. I can do it myself. Okay, that sounded weird. But the thing is, nothing will radicalize you like getting married and having children. It's just an objective fact. and leftoids, they will push you to the right more than any right-wing guy ever. From Piers Morgan out there making believe he doesn't understand per capita for the rape gangs, Hassan Piker abusing his dog and supporting terrorists and shit. Bro, it is a bad day to be a communist. Cuba falling to pieces. Yeah, we got absolutely China sucking Trump's dick. It's just absolute insanity. Definitely subscribe. I do appreciate all the support, though. You guys have been incredible. Keep being funny in the comments. You guys are awesome. You really are. I read almost all the comments on all my videos. You guys are incredible. Super appreciative and grateful. To God for the support. I'll see you in the next one. Every day, another deep dive. Bye.